Murfreesboro got a crash on the right shoulder, 24 westbound, right there at Joe B. Jackson Parkway. And Laverne got a crash, 24 eastbound near Waldron Road. Goodlettsville, a crash, Conference Drive at Vietnam Veterans Boulevard. Already some stop-and-go brake tapping northbound North Loop up to the northern split and eastbound 440 over to 24 from 65, northbound 65 up to the South Loop. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Wow. Boy, oh boy. That's very robust. Hello, friends. It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Super Talk 99.7 WTN underway for another day, midweek edition, Wednesday edition, May 20th in the year of our Lord, 2026. Happy and pleased. I have to do something here. Happy and pleased that you've decided to join us on this Wednesday, a wet Wednesday, as it is raining showers moving through the area at a fairly regular pace, and that's kind of news. I imagine that some of the traffic situation that we see unfurling before our very eyes is a result of the fact that people have not seen the raindrops on their windshields for some time. Outside of the occasional thunder boomer, this is just some rain, and it's expected to be around today and tomorrow and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Memorial Day Monday and possibly into Tuesday. So if you don't like the wet stuff, that probably ruins Memorial Day plans, but I hope it doesn't ruin yours. And the expectation is that while you might see an occasional thunder shower, an occasional strike of lightning, an occasional rumble, it will not be any widespread inclement weather, just rain, which we need, so that's quite a nice thing. 8 minutes after 3 o'clock. Thank you for being with us. My name is Matt Murphy. For those who do not know, young Jackson Williams, Jay Willie, is behind the glass making sure that everything that comes out of our speaker sounds as good as humanly possible. He also has his hand up.
Hello.
Or you did.
The king has a decree. Is now a good time?
Well, I mean, I suppose you want to go ahead and...
It didn't matter either way. Hear ye, the king decrees.
Hey, before you do the decree, can I say something real quick? Hey, Ken, how are you? Ken Weaver back in the news
How about you,
closet.
boys?
Now we got to restart.
What's going on, Ken? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right.
Man, oh man, a little traffic, a little snarls, a little slow and go.
No, it's about the same it is every day this time of day, boys. Yes, a lot of stop and go.
Yeah, there was some stop and go on the way up here. You know, I'm theorizing it's people that don't know what that stuff hitting their window is. Okay, sorry about that, Jackson. Okay.
Hear ye, the king decrees that you are allowed to go the speed limit when it rains.
Oh, that's a good decree. Thank you, your royal hiney ass.
Everyone in the listening area needs to hear this.
Thank you, Ken.
Hear ye.
His
Good
royal
Lord.
His royal hiney ass has spoken.
What'd you do, Brother Jackson? Get behind some slow pokes?
I did, and my horn was working overtime, Ken.
Man, you got to watch that horn nowadays, buddy.
You better look out, Brother Jackson.
You honk that horn one too many times, you can have some gunplay.
When you're sitting on the interstate with nothing in front of you, you get the horn.
When Jackson's the bull, you get the horn.
You get the horn, boys.
What about that old one-finger salute? You ever throw that out at him?
No, I'm a respectful driver.
A respectful driver wouldn't do that sort of thing.
He's saying he's a respectful driver, and he's looking at me and shaking his head going, yeah, I do it. You know
I would never do that, Matt Murphy.
Hey, I saw a video. I need to find this video, kid. I saw this video. It's just one of those random videos that popped up, and I thought of Jackson last night. Is this little kid playing baseball? And Jackson, I'm not stereotyping or casting we don't cast aspersions.
We don't cast aspersions.
No, we don't do that. But he's a chunky little kid. He's a chunky monkey like Jackson is.
Yeah.
And the little kid's on first base. He's got his little uniform on, and he's focused. And his mama, the caption says, "Mama recording her son at his last Little League baseball game," or something like that.
Yeah.
And Mama's recording. She goes, "Brandon." And Brendan looks over at her and just pops her the bird. And she goes, "Brandon, stop it." And Brendan kind of looks the other way and looks back at her one more time and pops one back up at her. And I'm like, if that isn't Jackson Williams in a nutshell, I don't know what is.
Dude, I've got to get, one of these days, I've got to get a photo of Brother Jackson whenever there's something going on that, he looks like he's got some sort of sinister plan. He just kind of looks over at me over his shoulder, and he's just got just this sly grin on his face.
Yeah, just his way of saying, walk with me here, Weaver.
Yeah. Wait till you hear this, Ken.
You're not going to believe this one, Ken. I got a good one coming. Yeah, that's our man Jackson. That's our man.
I was on a phone call with a lovely listener. What?
We were just talking about how awesome you are.
No, what? I heard something about a chunky little baseball player. What happened with that?
A little chunky little baseball player in Little League, and his mom was trying to record him on first base because it was his last game of the season. He flipped her off twice. She's like, "Brandon, don't you put that up?" And he's like, "Boop." He gave her a little extra pop. I was like, man, that's Jackson.
Oh. Nah, I played baseball for 1 year. I was picking daisies.
Out
in the outfield.
Out in right field.
Because nobody's hitting it out there.
No, right field, that's where young kids go to whatever.
Do whatever out there.
Sit down, play with cow patties. So I got a couple of things non-political related. We'll get into the politics of the day in just a moment. We'll talk about Thomas Massie, what we take away from this. Friends, this is more about, it's about Donald Trump, but it's more about Thomas Massie than it is about Donald Trump. Here's what you need to know. I am a libertarian with a small L. I believe that the greatest existential threat that we face in the United States of America is our burdensome debt and our refusal to stop spending fake money. However, Thomas Massie can't get me. If you can't get me, if you can't pick me up, that's a you problem, not a me problem and not a Trump problem. And Massie had every opportunity to get me, and he can't get me. Why? Well, we'll talk about it he crapped the bed, basically. And we'll talk about that as the show unfurls. And I don't want to hear about Jeffrey Epstein. Because, you know how many times, by the way, I give Sean Davis of the Federalist this credit. Sean's a listener to the show. We follow one another on the in the Twitter world, and Sean was the one that I saw post this first. Do you know how many times Thomas Massie commented publicly on the X machine on the Epstein files during the Biden administration? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to guess? The number of times that Thomas Massie talked about Jeffrey Epstein during the Biden administration. Oh, it's not 0, it's 3. 3. 1, 2, and 3. So he is a little bit late to the party, one would think, but he's at the party nonetheless. But here's the deal. I want to hear the names, too. If the names matter, let's throw them out on the floor of the House of Representatives and see what happens. I hear a lot of people yapping. They ain't saying nothing. I hear a lot of people yapping, and they're saying nothing. People yap about, oh, I know this name and I know that name. Well, tell us the names. Well, they might sue us. Who cares? If someone were to sue you over naming names about who was on Epstein Island, do you understand the GoFundMe that you would have within 24 hours for your legal defense? Secondarily, I don't think anybody would sue you because you're not going to be able to sue somebody that's telling the truth. Number 3. Well, I forgot number 3, but I'll get back to it. It's just a fascinating dynamic that's going on in Kentucky, and we'll discuss what's going on in Kentucky in just a moment. But I'm not getting into that right now. I want to get into this shirt. Ken, did you see this shirt?
I did not see that shirt, Brother Murphy.
So I've been meaning to talk about this shirt for a minute. You did not see the cross, did you, Jackson? You've not seen this shirt? So, okay. So I've been carrying this shirt in my truck for like the better part of 2 weeks.
Is that the one you keep bringing in and doing nothing with?
It's exactly the one. That's the same one. But I finally am going to do something with it because I'm fascinated with this shirt. So E and I went out to eat Mexican on Cinco de Mayo, as you do. Now, we eat a lot of Mexican just any old day of the week. I absolutely love Mexican, but on Cinco de Mayo, there's basically 2 Mexican joints in Mount Pleasant. We went to one of them, and both of them are just fine and well and good. And I'm not knocking these places, and I don't want anybody to think that this is a negative on these business establishments, because I'm here for it. But they're giving out T-shirts, so They gave out the place that we like best. I'll just say it this way. The place that we like best in Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, was too busy to go to on Cinco de Mayo. So we went to our second choice, which is the only other place in Mount Pleasant to eat Mexican food, and that place was not so busy. But what they were doing is giving out T-shirts. Now, these are T-shirts in celebration of Cinco de Mayo. Jackson, you've not seen this T-shirt. Ken, I don't think you've seen this T-shirt.
I have not seen it.
All right, I'm going to show you boys this T-shirt. I just want to get your reaction, okay? I will tell you that the T-shirt says on the bottom of it, Wild Fiesta Cinco de Mayo, okay? Wild Fiesta Cinco de Mayo. Here's the T-shirt. What do y'all think about that?
I think it was made with AI.
So
is that's
a lot going on there, Ken. That's like a leopard or some sort of angry cat
with a Native American headdress
with an Indian headdress on top, and it says Wild Fiesta Cinco de Mayo.
Well, maybe they think that's Aztec.
So I feel like our Mexican friends are potentially culturally appropriating something from our Native American friends, our Indian friends. And in the process, the poor leopard's getting caught up. I mean, the leopard looks absolutely insane here. And then on the back, I mean, I guess that's fine, because now we got this, the old stereotype, I'm so sleepy, Mr. Sleepy Mexican, You know what I'm saying? Gotta have a siesta. I don't know. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, except to say I'm just fascinated that they're adding these out, and I'm like, what? I didn't understand what a traditional Native American headdress had to do with Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
It looks snazzy.
I mean, it looks great. I mean, this is going to be great. I'm working.
You need to wear that T-shirt.
Working in the look. He's got a little. The top of the headdress. You see what that's got on it? It's got a 5. You know what that is?
Cinco.
That's exactly right. I mean, that cat looks angry. Very angry.
Looks like it had to wait 20 minutes for its cheese dip.
Man, we didn't have to wait long, boy. You don't have to wait long in Mexico. You know why? Because it's all out. It's all the same stuff. It's all back there. They say put it together in different ways. I mean, seriously.
That's the beauty of Mexican food.
It is the beauty of Mexican
food. You just throw it all together.
So my theory on Mexican, Ken, is that it's very difficult to get bad Mexican. It's also very difficult to get really good Mexican. Most Mexican is
fine.
You go to a Mexican place, for the most part, somebody goes, "Hey, I heard you went out last night." "Yeah, I went to that Mexican joint." And you say, "Well, how was it?" "Yeah, it's good.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's good."
Good margs. Good margs.
I had a beer. I didn't have a margarita. Now, the other place, they got great margaritas. The other joint in Mount Pleasant.
You
Once
ever had
again,
a frozen one?
No. What do you? No. What? A frozen margarita? You need to eat. Jackson, you need to consume food like an adult. And a grown person has a margarita on the rocks.
Then why do they sell it frozen?
I don't know. I genuinely do not know. But I guess because there's people like you that
to treat during the summer
want to harken back to their good old days of, snow cones and childhood.
Bomb pops. Bomb pops that you'd get out of those little trucks playing Three Blind Mice as they go down your street.
That's exactly right. The little
Pedialyte.
Pedialyte.
Yeah.
Yes, Jackson. Whatever helps you enjoy the misty, watercolored memories of the way we were.
Is that from a soap opera?
It's a Barbra Streisand song.
It's a big movie, Brother Jackson.
The way we were was pretty big.
Sound of Music.
I like the way Ken Weaver's thinking.
Brother Jackson's going to have to watch it.
Y'all give me a Streisand musical.
I genuinely, I think Jackson would destroy the bit before he got
I
through the
think
movie.
Brother Jackson would say, okay,
I'm
we're
out.
done. I'm out.
This
I would
whole
say
thing
I'm
is
watching
over.
The Matrix this weekend, and y'all can deal with it.
No, I would not. No, because I would have to watch the damn thing too, and I'm not watching the way you are. Awful. All right, so we've lots to discuss. I'm curious your thoughts on what happened last evening. I don't think that the biggest news that came out of the election primaries last night is being reported on any of the major networks because it does not bode well for political leftists in the South particularly, but generally speaking across the country. And no, I'm not talking about Thomas Massie and his defeat in Kentucky, although that's big news. No, I'm not talking about anything else that you might, maybe you have considered the Georgia Supreme Court race. Have you? No? Barack Obama, no less than Barack Obama weighed in on this. Political leftists of all stripes have attempted to sway the Georgia Supreme Court in what they believed and what they called was a very most important election cycle regarding the direction that Georgia and, by extension, the Southeast, by extension, the United States of America is going with some of these court cases. And two Republicans came out victorious in the Georgia Supreme Court race. So we'll talk about that. NES is now being urged. The National Electric Service is now being urged by the same Metro Council that wagged their finger at them several months ago during this winter storm that we all experienced back in the winter. The Metro Council is now begging NES to stop cutting the canopy. I'm not making it up. I can't make this stuff up. Redistricting lawsuits have been consolidated. We'll discuss that. And the NAACP says that black athletes should stay out of the South. We shall discuss that as well. Plus, Super Bowl, obviously. Hey, is Jim Nance listening to the show, you think? I mean, I know he listens to our counterparts over on the sports station. You think he tunes into the Murphy Show every once in a while on Super Talk 99.7 WTN?
He probably tunes in for nincompoops.
I mean, he might. Hello,
That's a terrifying thought.
Hello, friends.
The things that I have uttered into this microphone.
Man, did you hear him this morning?
He was great.
He was great.
I mean, he was in form. In form, friends.
He's legendary, man.
He's an American treasure.
He is.
His first year, I think I have this right. Nance, if you're listening, tell me if I'm wrong or right. I think his first year broadcasting at the Masters was the 86 Jack Nicklaus Masters. I believe that's right.
Nicholson.
I said Nicholas. I said Nicholas, as in Jack Nicklaus.
Huh.
The Masters, a tradition unlike any other.
I'm aware.
Are you, okay, oh, very good. Yeah, the golfer's name is Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, oopsie.
See, I don't know if Jackson's messing with me or not. And apparently he's not.
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not.
Apparently you're mixing up. Although I would love to see like Jack Nicholson as the Joker at the Masters on the 16th tee box, trying to stuff it close, pick up another shot from the field. I believe I'm right, though. 86, I think that was Nance's first Masters because I want to say that he wants to get to 50 is what his stated goal was, which will be 10 years from now. Anyway, 24 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Preparations already underway for the Super Bowl in Nashville, 4 years away. And the NFL says you change the draft forever. We can't wait to see what you do with the Super Bowl. That's coming up at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. Ken Weaver in News Closet B. Matt Murphy in the studio confines of Super Talk 99.7 WTN at the dead end of Music Row. Jackson Williams behind the glass once again. He makes sure that everything that comes out of our speakers sounds as good as humanly possible. I should note you can find us on a variety of platforms. Obviously, we're on the FM dial, 99.7 FM. We're on Spotify. We're on TuneIn. We're on iHeart. We're on our own application. Type in Supertalk 99.7 WTN and take us wherever you'd like on your smartphone, your laptop, etc. And then, of course, Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. The last segment, for example, what a better segment it was on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, because you got the visual of the shirt that I was discussing on the radio. So if you're able, join us there. Join the YouTube chat. Like and subscribe when you do join us. We appreciate that. You help our digital footprint, and we absolutely love that. It's episode 1041 of The Matt Murphy Show on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. What do take away from what happened to Thomas Massie last night? Obviously, the Trump impact means something. The Trump endorsement still means something. And a lot of younger people who were Massie fans got online last night and they were sucking their thumbs talking about the boomers. Oh, you boomers. We hate you boomers. You boomers suck. The boomers, they the ones that did this. Well, you know what? You get the 20-somethings to turn out next time around, and maybe y'all can make a difference. Until then, go sit and spin on it. Thomas Massie had every opportunity to have Matt Murphy in his corner because we agree on so much. It was his attitude and his snottiness and his holier-than-thou approach that crapped the bed for me. And I can agree on a lot of different... And I'm not a voter. I don't know how I would have approached this. I don't, frankly, know enough about Gallrein to form an opinion about the individual. I know he served in the United States military, and that's a wonderful thing. I don't pretend to have followed the dynamics of that race closely enough to be able to give you minute details as to how and why all of this happened. But I know this. If there are enough people in Kentucky like me that don't appreciate his approach, choosing to turn friends into enemies as opposed to identify ways that we can still remain friendly and approach going after issues in which we are in lockstep, that's the problem there. We'll talk about it next. Your thoughts on it as well, 615-737-9986. It's the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Looks like we have finished with one line of showers and thunderstorms, none of them severe, but another one's head this way. Got a lot of rain in it. Going to let you know more about that during the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, preparations already underway for Super Bowl 64 in 2030. Legendary sportscaster and Nashville resident Jim Nance at today's press conference.
This is just the beginning. This is a special day for all of us to feel good about and to celebrate. But Nashville right now is a force in the American sports scene.
NFL Executive Vice President Peter O'Reilly said Nashville changed the NFL draft forever in 2019, drawing at least 600,000 fans to Lower Broad. He said the expectations for the Super Bowl in 4 years are even bigger. Tennessee officials are going to pay $835,000 to settle a First Amendment lawsuit. Retired police officer Larry Bushart was jailed for 37 days for a Facebook post after Charlie Kirk's assassination, which referenced a deadly school shooting in Perry County, Iowa, but it scared people in Tennessee. Then the media reported it, and it went nationwide. Suddenly, the Perry County prosecuting attorney drops the charges. The sheriff even admitted in a TV interview there was no threat, but they arrested Bushart anyway, claiming he had violated state law. Former Cuban President Raul Castro is facing murder charges in the U.S. for his alleged involvement in the deaths of humanitarian workers 30 years ago. 2 planes carrying humanitarian aid shot down in 1996 and 4 Americans died. President Trump, after landing back in Washington, said that Cuba is free.
A lot of people have suffered very big, very at levels that few people would understand. And I think the Cuban population of Miami and certainly beyond Miami, people that came there that were decimated, whose families were ruined, appreciate what the Attorney General just did today.
Well, the 94-year-old Castro is not the current leader of Cuba, and he would have to be extradited to the U.S., but the U.S. and Cuba have no extradition agreement. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes. Talbot's Corner, 65 southbound at 24. Laverne, 24 eastbound near Waldron Road. Murfreesboro, right shoulder block, 24 westbound near Joby Jackson Parkway. Complete stop-and-go brake tapping eastbound 440 from 65 to 24. That continues on 24 from 440. And then westbound 40 between downtown and the eastern split, and northbound 65 to the south loop. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for King & Associates Insurance. Let's talk about life insurance for a moment. I understand that this is a topic that many of us shy away from because you're discussing the concept of death and the fact that all of us are going to at some point leave this mortal coil. And if you have kids, this message is for you because life insurance isn't really about you. It's about them, making sure that the house is paid for, college still possible, their life doesn't change overnight. Obviously, it would change overnight in the unlikely event of a tragedy, but we don't want to make finances a consideration either. At King & Associates Insurance, they make it so simple. They're not here to protect or to pressure you into any particular path. They're here to protect you and to avoid the confusion that, some present. Clear options that fit your family, that fit your lifestyle. Visit tkinginsurance.com today. That's T, letter T, kinginsurance.com, or call 615-329-8121, 329-8121. King & Associates Insurance, protecting what matters most. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for listening to the radio show, wherever you might be, in your home, your place of business, your automobile, maybe your shop. Just got Nelson, who said he's listening out at the shop, says that every other radio station that he tries to tune in is fuzzy in his shop, and so he has to listen to us, but he is listening. Not very happy with me, however. Says, AIPAC bought a seat and boomers suck. They're bleeping bleep. Can I say retarded? I just did. They're bleeping retarded is what Nelson said. AIPAC does not have nearly the power that some would like to suggest. To those that believe that the Jews control everything, would suggest to you that they control everything involved in politics. I do not believe that the Jews control everything involved in politics. If you do, that's fine. I'm not here to dissuade you from that position, despite the fact that I believe that you're wrong. I can look at the numbers, and I can tell you that there are at least 25 other lobbying organizations, political action committees, and otherwise that spend a lot more money. So it feels a lot like the argument that liberals make about gun control in the Second Amendment when it comes to the free speech rights of organizations that get together and want to promote certain values or belief systems, that they would argue, the liberals would argue, that the NRA controls all of the Republican politicians because the NRA gives to like-minded Republican politicians who believe in and support the basic concepts of the Second Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. Similarly, AIPAC gives to individuals that support a pre-existing and current relationship the United States of America has with Israel. They recognize that America is a lot more important to Israel than Israel is to the United States of America, and so they want to promote and foster that relationship as best they possibly can. I understand some of you don't want to hear that, and some of you want to believe that the Jews control everything because it makes you feel better when you feel like the world is a little bit out of control to have a boogeyman to point to. I don't do that. I just don't. Does that mean that Israel does everything right? Of course it doesn't. Does that mean that we ought not to constantly and regularly monitor our relationship with all other nations, including and especially those countries that we give large amounts of money to? Yes. I'm on record as saying that we should stop all foreign aid. There's a period at the end of that sentence, and so I paused for emphasis. I believe that we should stop all foreign aid to all other countries. We are $40 trillion in debt, for goodness sake. We have plenty of needs here at home. We can support in other ways outside of money or military, for that matter. So I'm on the record with that. As far as Thomas Massie goes, here's the deal. Thomas Massie, based on his libertarian roots, and I am a libertarian with a small L. I don't belong to the Libertarian Party, but I certainly believe in the libertarian philosophy of governance, which dictates that government should serve or does serve best when it serves least or only when absolutely necessary, protecting those rights that are guaranteed us by our God and by the Constitution of the United States of America. That's what government's here for, is to allow for the basic formulation of rules of society. For example, how are we going to drive? How are we going to interact with other members of society in a way where everybody understands what's going on? And how are we going to ensure that other people are not depriving us of our rights through force or fraud? That's what the government's for. So Massie had every opportunity to win me over to his cause as far as it goes from a national perspective, and he chose not to. Now, there are many other things. Liberals are running around today suggesting that the only thing that Massie and Trump ever disagreed on was the Epstein files, and that's not true. The Epstein files is being used as a pick by the political left to suggest that Donald Trump destroyed Massie for that reason exclusively. Thomas Massie voted against the big, beautiful bill. And he did so, and if my memory is correct, he said at the time that the reason he voted for the big, beautiful bill was the expenditure of money regarding the southern border. He also voted against a a number of other pieces of legislation that were very important to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump decided that he had had enough of it. And Thomas Massie's disapproval of the engagement with Iran, generally speaking, his disapproval of all things regarding Israel ultimately became too much. And Thomas Massie changed is my bottom line on this. It was not so much the Trump endorsement. It was not so much even the money. It was the fact that the voters had seemingly had enough of it. Now, as far as Jeffrey Epstein goes, Joe Biden was president for 4 years. I didn't hear liberal networks like CNN or MS, whatever they call themselves now, MS Now, I guess it is, or CNBC or ABC, CBS, NBC, all of the alphabet soups. I did not hear these networks harping on this issue during that period of time. But, that's just a point of observation. It's not something that I want to get caught up in. I just remind you that these are hypocrites that are taking political advantage of a situation so as to ding Donald Trump. These media outlets do not really care about the Epstein files. They care about the Epstein files in as much as it looks bad for Donald Trump that he's not fulfilled the campaign promise that he made, that he would expose everything and anything that's inside of the files, despite the fact that we've had legislation toward that end on the books for how long now? So don't be fooled with the idea that the hashtag never CNNs of the world are that interested in finding out what's inside of it outside of the fact that they want it to look bad for Donald Trump and Republicans at large. I seem to recall during one of the Epstein document dumps that Bill Clinton looked pretty bad. Number of photographs of Clinton in hot tubs with faces blacked out. Where were the national media networks demanding to know from Bill Clinton and the Democrats what the hell Bill Clinton was doing there? You know all we heard when I brought it up? You know what I heard? Well, he's not the president anymore, Matt. I didn't think that mattered. I didn't think this was about a sitting president. I thought it was about powerful people doing nasty things to young folks. And for those saying, oh, the pedos won, and I hear this, I've seen it on social media platforms. Oh, the pedophiles won. I want to see everything that there is to see. I want full and total transparency in large aspects of our government that we don't currently have. I'm on record as telling you that we overclassify way too much in the United States of America, and the government does so to prevent us from seeing what the government's doing. They don't do it for legitimate reasons. They do it to prevent us from seeing what they're doing. So I am all about declassifying all of this stuff and bringing it before the American people. So make no mistake, I want to see it all, every bit of it, no matter how much it hurts. And I don't care who it hurts. Democrats, Republicans, conservative, liberal, I don't care. I do not care. I want to see it all. But the sanctimony and the holier-than-thou approach that people like Massie had on this, he stands before the American people or sits before the American people on some of these networks and declares, I've got the clips if you want to hear them, declares that he knows the names. Well, tell us the names, pal, if you know the names. I mean, God love her, Nancy Mace did the same thing. Oh, I know the names. Well, tell us the names. Oh, well, they'll sue me. They won't sue you from the floor of the House of Representatives, ma'am, sir. They dupe individuals into believing that they've got some interior or specialized knowledge, and I don't know that they necessarily do. I don't know. What would prevent them from telling us what they claim to know? The victims deserve it. Speaking of the victims, some of the victims come out and say, oh, well, I could tell you some of these names, but I don't want to because I'll get sued. Do you understand the amount of money? One, truth is your greatest defense. So if you're telling the truth, I promise you these lawsuits are not going to be successful. Number two, any victim of the Jeffrey Epstein situation that would stand before the American people or the people of the world and start naming names about people that were on Epstein Island and what they did, do you understand? I will personally raise money for you for your legal defense. And I think that there are millions like me that will personally raise money for you. I want to know the truth, and I'm willing to do anything and everything to get to it. But don't sit there and tell me, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Don't sit there and tell me that you have the names. And, okay, well, what are the names? Well, I'm not going to tell you now. Well, why not? How about go down to for those that don't know, the free and open debate clause guarantees a certain level of immunity for representatives from any sort of lawsuit or prosecution if you are in the House chamber, for example, or in the Senate chamber, and you are in the midst of debate on a particular measure, you are allowed grace and latitude in terms of what you say and how you say it. Go down to the well, and you are immune from lawsuit, and tell us the names there. Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? Democrats all over the pages, we are told, of the Epstein information. Nothing. Nothing on those people. Now, there's enough stinky on this to run around, but I don't, unlike others, I don't presume to know what the stinky is. All I know is what we've seen. Is there more? I presume that there's more. But Massie's big mistake was he acted all magnanimous, like he was the lone savior of the government of the United States of America when it came to these issues, that he was the moral police when it came to these issues, claiming that he had all of this information. Well, then share that information, sir. Share that information. Well, I can't do what? Why not? What is possibly stopping you? And I'm still waiting for that answer. But in the midst of that, you turn friends into enemies, and it's what Thomas Massie seemed to do, especially in the aftermath of McCarthy losing his speaker role. He was against Mike Johnson because he had his lips pooched out about McCarthy. I remember all of these things. I mean, I'm elephantine. I remember this stuff, right? So McCarthy was buddy-buddy with Massie, elevated his and promoted his station in the House of Representatives. He didn't like the fact that McCarthy was unceremoniously booted as Speaker, and so he pooched his lip out about Mike Johnson. That got him sideways with Johnson, voted against the BBB, said that he did so because it was spending more. And look, I understand standing on principle, but I also understand standing before the American people and telling them, hey, I'm principally against these things that we are doing, and here's what we need to do to correct some of these errors, but I'm going to do this because the benefit outweighs the bad. The good outweighs the issue that I have from a principled stand on overspending or whatever it might be. It would occur to me that that would advance the cause of freedom and liberty more so than being obstructionist, and this is what you get when you are. So that is my analysis and my take on what happened with Thomas Massie. Had everything in his power to win me over, and chose to push me aside, as he did many of the voters in the state of Kentucky. And you know who the real winners were? If you want to point to winners and losers, the real winners were the voters of the state of Kentucky, because they went to the polls and they made decisions on their own. They went and they cast votes based on who they believed would best represent them. And that is what that's what a representative republic should look like. That's what a constitutional republic should look like. And that's what it looks like in Kentucky today. It's 52 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Wellness Institute of Nashville, Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, and the rest of the team at the Wellness Institute. They have it going on up there. I'm telling you, friends, if you've never been, you got to go. This is modern technology. These are modern medical marvels within the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Spinal decompression has been around for a hot minute, but it works, friends, and they got it going on at the Wellness Institute. Plus the HydroWave technology, which is brand new. Dr. Mitchell brought that in specifically to help alleviate pain in ways that other methods cannot. And now they've got Medical Bay 1, which is just cool. I mean, it's just like a Star Trek episode, right? It's futuristic. It's a healing machine. It massages you while doing full-body lasers with infrared stem cell stimulation for tissue regeneration. And it literally uses photons of wavelength for ultimate healing. That's what it's all about. If you are in pain anywhere on your person, you do not have to suffer in silence. There are options available for you, and I would encourage you to contact the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Painisbad.com, painisbad.com, or call 615-246-5009, 246-5009 for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Murphy with Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and this morning we are out and about at my house, my brand new house that I've been talking about on the radio, with Nate from USS. What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm excellent. How about you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
We invited Nate out. Now, obviously, when you're a new homeowner, especially when you buy a house that's got a few years on it, you don't know what you're dealing with in terms of foundation. And I know that Nate knows a lot more about what I don't see and what I don't know about than I do. So bring the experts out and get them to check out your house. Hey guys, Matt Murphy again with Nate with USS, and Nate has just wrapped up kind of a look at the house. And Nate, what'd you find?
Well, your house is in pretty good shape for the age of it. I had to look pretty hard to find.
Okay.
Your house being on a slope like it is here, I think we could do a lot of good by trying to terminate your downspouts a little
Okay.
further from the house there.
Okay.
Roof water is the killer of foundations, and so if we can just get it to a positive grade to drain away from your house, I think that's real cheap insurance.
You want to kind of get it out and downhill.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
So
the idea.
make sure that it doesn't come right back down towards the foundation walls, causing issues, settlement, or leakage.
Now, if folks are watching this video and they are like, we need to get Nate out to the house to do a look. I mean, it took, I watched you do it. It's, what, 30, 45 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
To do a comprehensive kind of an examination around the house. And they just give you a call and schedule?
Yeah, absolutely. You can call our main phone number, or you can call or reach USSTN.com and
Sure.
schedule right through the website there. Our girls in the call center will get back to you just about immediately, as long as it's during business hours. So
This just makes a lot of sense, folks, for you guys to do an examination of your house like we've done, to check it out. I'm going to get those gutters done with Nate and his team at USS, and then we'll do a video and let you know how those look at the end of all of this. So thank you, guys.
hey, that'd be great.
We appreciate you, brother.
Matt,
All
we
right.
appreciate you.
The NFL says Nashville will change the Super Bowl forever. Details coming up at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I just got told that Wally's in the house. You knew? Ken Weaver, by the way, is in the house. He's got news coming up just moments from now. He just told you that. I don't need to tell you that. I got Lisa on the line that wants to talk about raccoons, which is one of my favorite subjects. I've got one, apparently, in the yard. And Jackson apparently knew that Wally of Wally's Bean Machine was in the house, and you weren't going to tell me?
Well, the redheaded stranger just told me.
Oh, Okay. Well, that's fair because she told me too. She's telling everybody.
So she just told me a couple minutes before she told you.
Well, I'm going to get a Raccoon espresso, which is what we call him at Wally's Bean Machine here at the studio. You know why? Because Wally loves us. That's why. And we love Wally. Speaking of raccoons, Lisa will get to you. And the redheaded stranger is in the house testifying before something or another. We're going to find out together what that's all about. Take your telephone calls and your comments as well. 615-737-9986. Got redistricting lawsuits to talk about, the NAACP to talk about. Nashville Electric is now being told to stop cutting the canopy. Come on, y'all. It's all to come on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Four o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Waiting on that second round of showers and thunderstorms slowly creeping this way from the west. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, preparations already underway for Super Bowl 64 in 2030. At today's press conference, NFL Executive Vice President Peter O'Reilly said Nashville changed the draft forever in 2019.
Super Bowl 64 in 2030 is going to be a game changer for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 64 in 2030 is going to be a game changer for the NFL.
Nashville drew an estimated 600,000 people to the draft in 2019. Tennessee officials going to pay $835,000 to settle a lawsuit filed by a man who was jailed over Facebook memes after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Retired police officer Larry Bushart spent 37 days behind bars after his post, but the charges were dropped once the media started reporting the story and it went nationwide. The sheriff even admitting in a News Channel 5 interview there was no threat. Former Cuban President Raul Castro is facing charges in the U.S. for his alleged involvement in the deaths of humanitarian workers 30 years ago. Justice Department came back with a 7-count indictment charging Castro with murder. 2 planes carrying humanitarian aid were shot down in 1996, and 4 people, including 3 Americans, died. President Trump, after landing back in Washington, was asked about whether the U.S. would increase its pressure on Cuba, either through sanctions or military.
There won't be escalation. I don't think there needs to be. Look, the place is falling apart. It's a mess. And they've sort of lost control. They've really lost control of Cuba.
And there's growing opposition in Congress to the plan to pay out up to $1.8 billion from a new anti-weaponization fund to those who say they were victims of targeting by federal prosecutors during Joe Biden's presidency. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has more.
Pennsylvania Republican Brian Fitzpatrick says he aims to stop the administration from paying out from the new anti-weaponization fund.
I don't support it. I think you can't do that.
Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin, the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee, now has a bill which would bar the payments and prohibit what he calls future presidential slush funds. In the Senate, Majority Leader John Thune has said he's not a fan of the fund. But whether lawmakers in both houses can channel their opposition into a measure that can become a law is very much an open question. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
And money news, the National Association of Realtors says single women are buying homes at nearly twice the rate of single men across the U.S. They now make up about a quarter of all buyers compared to roughly 1 in 10 for men. Experts say financial independence and a desire to build long-term wealth are driving the trend. Even with higher costs and single incomes, more women are jumping into the housing market. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Rivergate, injury crash, 65 northbound before Vietnam veterans. Christiana, disabled vehicle, right lane block, 24 westbound near Epps Mill Road. Laverne, 24 eastbound near Waldron Road, got a crash there. In Donaldson, you got a crash, Bradley Parkway southbound near Lebanon Pike. And in West Nashville, a crash, Charlotte Pike near White Bridge Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
And another thing. No, I'm just kidding. It's hour number 2 of the Matt Murphy Show. Actually, I'm not kidding. I do have another thing to say. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Almost 7 minutes after 4 o'clock. Happy Wednesday to you, friends. Man, is it just me, or I feel like Memorial Day has snuck up on me just a little bit. Just a little bit. Anybody else just a little bit? And next week is going to be interesting, young Jackson. Because not only are you preparing a big, huge, blowout, best of program for Memorial Day.
We got to do our holiday liner. I just remembered that.
I'm like, hey, Jackson, are we going to have a big time show? We got to do our holiday liner. Yeah, we do, Jackson. You want me to do it now? I can do it now.
We can both do it?
I can do it. I mean, if you want me to do it now, I'm kind of in the middle of something, but I mean, I'm happy to. I'm happy to stop whatever
you're doing.
No, we'll do it later.
Okay, well, let's do it later. But do you have a big time, huge extravaganza, spectacular best of program ready to go for the folks?
The best of nincompoops.
Is that what you're doing?
Probably.
That might be fun. That might be fun. Maybe maybe some of that. It might be too much. Might be too much. Reddit Stranger says too much. Jackson says you be quiet because you're making him work harder.
We're going to do the best of from my 6 weeks as Nincompoops champion.
Oh, sure. I mean,
this is the best of Jackson.
I'm on pins and needles waiting on that one. You hear the voice of the one and only redheaded stranger. I feel like we need a theme song at some point for the redheaded stranger, and I feel like it ought to be some sort of Willie Nelson.
Got to be a Willie song.
Got to be a Willie song. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a two-timing man.
I think that's perfect.
Well, there you go. Hello,
hi.
Pamela Furr. How are you?
Hi. I'm great. You know why?
Why?
I have Wally's coffee in my hand.
So good. What did What did you choose?
This is the mochaccino.
Oh, I don't know about all of that.
It's the mochaccino, and it's really good. And Wally was here. I ran into him in the hall.
Oh, Wally's always here.
That's interesting.
He's here all the time.
Does he make these for you every time?
No. I mean, you make them for yourself. That's the whole concept.
Yeah, but he was there helping
was he there
me.
just giving you the old...
He's like, this is what you do. You push this button, and coffee comes
He's got
out.
the Raccoon espresso in there.
Raccoon espresso.
Raccoon espresso or espresso, either way you want to say. I'm not here to judge.
I did say espresso.
I did tell Wally that he misspelled raccoon, and he rolled his eyes at me.
Yeah.
He's like, you're lucky that because someone asked him to change French vanilla to Freedom vanilla.
Oh.
And he can do that, and I made it happen. He had not done it, and I was like, hey, you need to do that, and he did that. Okay. And while he did that, he changed espresso in our honor because we got our raccoon legislation passed to Raccoon espresso.
And congratulations on that.
Well, it's a step in the right direction.
I have a memory, too. It popped up on Facebook. I'm going to bring up Uncle Phil for a minute because it was funny as all get out. When he would make coffee before his show, he always drank decaf, which is beyond me why, but he would drink decaf, and so he would put different labels on the coffee pot so people wouldn't drink his decaf. And his most popular one was the Trans Blender.
Transblender.
Yes.
I like it. That's
so
good.
That popped up in my memories
That's
the other
nice.
day.
That's
so
pretty
maybe
cool.
if there's a decaf in Wally's, which again, I don't know why, you're at a radio station, who drinks decaf, maybe make it Transblender.
Look at all the people on the Super Text line talking about how lovely it is to hear you. And at least one person has said that Jackson and Pamela sound a lot alike on the radio. And it was a smiley. I don't know who they're coming after. I don't know who. I think they're coming after Jackson. I think that's
is that what it is?
I think that's what that is.
Yeah,
I think they're coming after my man Jay Willie, one way or the other. If you don't mind, can I do Lisa real quick?
Of course.
Then, because
You mean talk to her?
Yeah, we're gonna find out. What? On the phones, I'm so sorry, Lisa. I sincerely apologize. Pamela Furr is here, and she's trashing the joint up.
Well, I was going to say I'm 62. If you go slow, maybe we can talk about it. Anywho.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
By the way.
Okie dokie. All righty, Lisa.
Okay.
Thanks, Pamela. Now I've got some explaining to do when I get to the house. I appreciate you very much.
I'm so sorry.
Listen, I've got like a 5 foot tall by 10 foot wide raccoon den in the corner of my property. And I didn't know what it was until I put the trail cam out, and it's just chock full of little suckers. So if you want one or two, come on out and get them. And for every male, you get a free pacoon.
Every male, you get a free what?
Pacoon. Have you ever heard of pacoon?
You're saying pacoon?
No, P with a P. Like
P.
pecan, only it's pacoon.
Right, like raccoon, but with a P.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is
That's what it is.
What is a pacoon?
It's a coon pecker.
Oh.
You use them when you make moonshine.
Oh yeah, there's a bone in there.
Yes, sir.
That's Pamela. Don't laugh. That's true. These are facts. You don't hear this crap on the Sean Hannity show. I tell you that.
You don't see raccoons at the ED clinic, do you? No. Anyway.
Oh. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come out to get them. I would love it.
Lisa, whereabouts are you with the raccoon den?
I'm out in Reedyville.
Oh, Reedyville, not to be confused with Readyville, right?
Yes, please don't. Yeah.
No, we don't do that out there.
Yeah. Well, you did once, but it's okay.
I'm sorry.
We're still friends.
I apologize.
We're still friends.
All right. Well.
Anyway, yes, please come get them. They're a nuisance.
All right. Well, I will. I'll be there presently.
Yeah, I'll hold my breath. Bye, Pam.
Bye.
That turned very awkward.
Very weird.
It's you.
I'm so sorry.
That's your fault.
I couldn't help it.
That's all on
Can
you.
we start over?
No, we're all good.
All right.
What are you doing here?
So, hey, thank you for letting me stop by, first of all, for a cup of coffee.
Can I just tell everyone real quick that Pamela Furr and I spoke. We texted. She talked to me about what she had recently done. And I said, man, you should tell everybody about that. And she said, oh, yeah, I can if you want me to stop by on Wednesday. And I was like, great. And she said, great. And when she walked in, I was like, what are you here for again? And she said, do you need to tell me? Do you need me to tell you? And I was like, no, we'll figure it out together. Because I've lost my mind.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
True story. Well, I actually spoke at the Capitol before the comptroller's office earlier today about fast track grants, in particular, the one that they are giving Starbucks to move their Eastern Division headquarters to Nashville. And so I spoke before the committee, before they voted yes, just to let them know that Americans for Prosperity Tennessee, who I work for, and Pamela Furr, taxpayer, is completely against this and other fast-track grants that the state of Tennessee is giving businesses to move here. I mean, look, and here's my little speech. I brought it with me.
Throw down some speech.
Now this is 3 minutes. Stop me when you need me to stop. I don't want to bore you.
I'll gavel you out, but just give us the highlights.
Look, I'm here because I love Tennessee.
Yeah.
One of the greatest states in America.
True.
a place where families want to raise their children,
Facts.
where businesses want to invest, and where people can build a better future because our state has embraced freedom, opportunity, and economic growth, right? And Tennessee's success did not happen because government officials picked winners and losers. It happened because Tennessee created a business climate where opportunity exists for everybody. We have no state income tax, check. We maintain a low tax burden, check, except for Nashville. We respect hard work, entrepreneurship, and economic freedom. That's why we stand opposed to a $30 million fast-track incentive package to Starbucks. If Tennessee is already one of the best places in America to do business, why are taxpayers being asked to subsidize one of the largest corporations in the world? A corporation, by the way, that's cutting jobs and closing stores. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
I'm so happy that this is turning the way that I see it turning, because I was so worried when you talked about grants and Starbucks. I don't know why I would have thought that you were in favor of this, but I didn't. I was like, wait a minute, there's no way she's in favor of this. And then you're now, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
Look,
good.
and I gave two examples, too, of two major companies that were given in fast-track grants. One is called Ultium Cells, which people may not remember that.
I drive by them every day in Spring
Is
Hill.
there anybody there?
I don't see them.
No. Now, when they first came to town, they were given an incentive package, and they promised that they would give 1,300 jobs to the community. They did keep that promise in 2024. I think it was 2024. In 2026, in January, guess who furloughed all their workers? Ultium Cells. And they stopped producing whatever it is that they produce for electric vehicles. So
I think batteries.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Production came to a halt. The other one, which a lot of people know about, is Oracle. Have they brought the transformational economic growth and thousands of jobs yet that they've promised? And how long ago have we given their incentive package? These are just two examples of taxpayers giving tens of millions of dollars in incentives tied to these ambitious job creation promises. So my question to the board was this: where is the transparency and accountability when these projections are not met? Now, I found out today from Stuart McWhorter, and I don't remember his title, but he's with I believe it's the government.
He's the head of
all this,
economic development.
Yeah, and I like Stuart, so don't get me wrong. This is not a criticism to him personally, but obviously we don't want taxpayer dollars going to companies that can afford to move here. That's number one. But he did say that there are clawback provisions that are made in these fast track grant deals that they give to these companies, and so I'm supposed to meet with him or call him next week to talk about exactly what those clawbacks are. However, my question is this: are they enforced? We don't hear about it as taxpayers if they're even enforced. And it's my understanding that these offices have the ability to grant waivers on enforcement. So, I mean, we got to check that out. Here's the other thing, too. I'll say this. Tennessee does not need to buy prosperity. We already have it.
I agree.
Bottom line.
Line.
And not only that, one more thing. This is a $30 million incentive package that the state of Tennessee is giving Starbucks. They voted for it. It's a done deal. What's next?
What is it? How much?
$30 million incentive package.
And they've done it.
Done. Voted today to do it.
What committee was it?
It's the comptroller's office. It was the state government. Shoot. I wish you hadn't asked me. I can tell you when we come back from the break. I can look at my phone.
Okay, but they don't. Well, I'm a little confused about how this all happened. There is a fund they said today they have about $600 million in the fast track grant fund that the state of Tennessee, our lawmakers, give them, right? And so apparently they reported today $500 million of that is accounted for. They have made $500 million promises to businesses to bring them here to Tennessee. What they all are, can't tell you right now. But I mean, that's public information, I am sure.
Here's the problem that I also have. Let's go away from that for a second. Nashville is also set to make an incentive promise to Starbucks. They were waiting on the state to do theirs. Once that was done, Freddie is doing it next. He's been asked, what are you going to promise them? I'm not going to tell you yet. I haven't decided yet, etc. I have a real problem with that happening with with Nashville, when you have businesses who have been here for generations shuttering their doors because they cannot afford the property taxes. So that's government choosing winners and losers and taking the money that those businesses are paying over and over again in property taxes that they really can't afford and handing it to a company that makes billions of dollars worldwide. Why does Starbucks need that money? Why do they need it?
Explain to me, if the city of Nashville has the money to be handing out grants to a multi-gajillion-dollar international company, why they can't give money back in terms of property tax reabatements to those businesses that have declared that they will not be able to continue business, those small. And this winners and losers nonsense, create a fertile atmosphere for all to come and enjoy starting their business.
Right. Is it blowing up?
It's blowing up. 5720 writes in and says, I'm a small business owner in Tennessee trying to grow. I could use $2 million to build our restaurants. Hardwood Smokehouse, good for you. 5720. This is a slap in my face. Yeah, it is.
100%.
It's 100. And who's supporting this in the General Assembly? I mean, I suppose they all are because they created the slush fund. This is a slush fund. And this is not right.
It's not right. You create the environment where businesses can thrive. Guess what? Tennessee has done that. No state income tax, and for the most part, a low tax burden, right? So why in the world then are we giving any kind of taxpayer dollar?
Because we want Starbucks.
Well, you have created the environment to do so. Here's the other thing. As far as Starbucks is concerned, as a conservative, do you want $30 million going to a company that is going to bring headquarter jobs here with people who are no doubt liberal?
Well, I mean above and beyond all of this, their coffee sucks, which is the biggest problem. In all of this is that the coffee sucks, and I don't understand how they became a multi-gajillion-dollar corporation because the coffee sucks. That aside, I would prefer to give Wally this money than Starbucks this money.
Or just don't give anybody the tax.
That's exactly right. This is our money.
We want to look in Nashville. Freddie's already talking about not being able to pay the firefighters what they are supposed to get paid.
Yet you can give a grant to a
multi-gajillion dollar company. You've got potholes in Nashville that Nashville is responsible for filling, not TDOT, but Nashville. You've got the tall and skinnies can fit in those potholes, and you're coming to me, the property owner, with my property taxes. You continue to raise those, and then you turn around and give $30 million or whatever the case may be to other companies. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It does not. We've got a quick time out to take. If you've got any thoughts on this, 615-737-9986, 615-737-WWTN. That's the telephone number. You can hit us up on the super text line as well. I love it when Dan Mandis gets random strays on the super text line. This has apparently happened. Jason says, was this approved by Dan Mandis? Probably. Nashville's morning news with Dan Mandis, probably.
Mandis is a moron in the mornings.
That's what I understand. I think, didn't they stop that bit, though? Well, they haven't stopped the spirit of the bit, if you know what I'm saying. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Think of it as a big Brita water filter for the house or the office. I'm talking about Better Water and Better Water LLC. You know, I made several calls. I've told you this in the past. Several calls. I had a list of people I needed to call and contact regarding my new house in Mount Pleasant. One of them was Better Water. Wanted to make sure that, what we were drinking, what we were bathing with, what we were washing the clothes with, that it was on the up and up, the A-OK. Robert and with Better Water LLC came out. He did an entire house examination, if you will. They checked for iron and sulfur and chlorine and bacteria and E. coli, everything in the water. And they checked for these things below the Mendoza line, if you will, below the line that is acceptable. They make sure that you know what's in your water. And Robert gave me some surprisingly good news. He said, you know what, you're A-OK. I mean, you're doing fine. They did install a reverse osmosis unit in my downstairs sink area because, if you have a little brown water, you want to make sure that the ice cubes you're using, you want to make sure that the branch that you use with the brown is nice and clean and tastes delicious. And it does. Better Water can help you. They're based out of Smyrna. They've been around for, since 1971. That's a long time, 55 years of serving the customers the right way. Better Water with Better Water LLC. BetterWater.com, BetterWater.com. Give them a call, 615-355-6063.
A Tennessee man reaches an $835,000 settlement after getting arrested for something he posted to Facebook. We'll tell you about it at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Jay Willie's just going after it today in the control area. What's going on over there?
Nothing.
You just feeling it?
Tennessee's about to play some baseball, brother.
Did y'all win?
Baseball?
I don't know why you make me laugh so much. Baseball. Did Tennessee win the other day? I suppose
They did win yesterday. That's why they're playing Arkansas here in about 2 minutes.
How are my dogs doing? I haven't even noticed. No? You don't care? You don't know? Well,
they just showed a commercial of them, so probably pretty good.
Oh, there you go.
You know, there's a Super Bowl coming to Nashville.
Yeah, and like 4 years away.
This is now.
Are y'all going to the big party downtown? How are we paying for that?
No.
Could it be from property taxes?
Probably.
Paying for the big party?
I will go to the big party if Jim Nance calls me and invites me to the big party. I'm desperate for Jim Nance to call the radio show. So if anybody knows Nance, tell him that I'm a fanboy and I've loved his work on the Masters. I'm from near Augusta, and I don't know what that will get me. I don't think it will get me a telephone call. But anyway, so we want to continue talking about grants. A lot of people are on the phone. So the bottom line is I don't have a problem with – I understand where some would be concerned about, the aspect of the nature of the company that's coming to town. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that. Just understand the state you're moving to and appreciate the liberty-leaning atmosphere that you're moving into. However, these subsidies – literally, it's as easy to say you're picking winners and losers, and it's a complete insult to the mom and pops that are out there busting it and paying their property taxes and doing the things the right way. Is just such an insult to them.
It really is an insult. And again, I'll say this, and I didn't know, again, that they had $600 million in this fund. They already said $500 million of that is committed. And I'm rounding here.
Committed to what?
To bringing businesses here to Tennessee, I suppose.
I want to know a list. I want a list.
I want a list, which I think we can get, and I'll get that for you for sure. But instead of, how about this? Let's take a break. Stop all fast-track grants. Let's make sure that our roads are funded. Let's make sure our schools are funded properly, whatever. And, I can think of a lot of ways that money could catch up on overdue maintenance that's out there on roads, on bridges and whatnot. And once the funding is gone, which I guess, what do you have, 100 million left? If you've got 500 million committed, there's 600 million in there. In the program.
It reminds me.
Stop the program.
Speaking of a break, we've got to get to news, but it reminds me of this, these nonsensical multipliers that government loves to talk about. It just makes me want to throw up. We'll discuss in a moment. Pat and Tony and Jeff and Barry will get to you. Pamela Furr is with us. It is 4:32. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, officials say preparation for Super Bowl 64 in 2030 is already underway. They say the city's going to be ready for infrastructure, security, and entertainment challenges. Legendary sportscaster and Nashville resident Jim Nance after today's press conference.
Broadway is going to have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people there, whether they have a ticket to the game or not. The pregame show, the Super Bowl pregame show, is going to be launched from there before they move it into the stadium. People are going to walk across the Cumberland and come into the stadium. They're going to walk back. The celebrations are just going to continue. And people are going to walk away and say, that's the greatest event I've ever been a part of. You watch.
NFL Executive Vice President Peter O'Reilly told the news conference that Nashville changed the NFL draft forever in 2019. And the expectation is Nashville will do the same with the Super Bowl. A Tennessee man has reached an $835,000 settlement after being jailed for more than a month over social media posts. Larry Bushart was arrested by Perry County authorities last fall after sharing memes after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Well, after the case garnered national attention, the Perry County prosecutor dropped the charges abruptly. Then the sheriff admitted in a News Channel 5 interview he knew the memes were not credible threats, but he said it scared the public. Former Cuban President Raul Castro is facing charges in the U.S. for his alleged involvement in the deaths of humanitarian workers 30 years ago. Justice Department came back with a 7-count indictment charging Castro with murder. 2 planes carrying humanitarian aid were shot down in 1996. 4 people, including 3 Americans, died, and President Trump, after landing in Washington today, said that Cuba is free.
It's not going to be like the biggest thing we've ever done, but I will tell you, to a lot of people, it's going to be one of the most important. They've been looking for this moment for 65 years, so we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we're going to have to help them out.
That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Rivergate still got that injury crash, 65 northbound before Vietnam Veterans Boulevard. Donaldson got a crash, Bradley Parkway southbound near Lebanon Pike, West Nashville, Charlotte Pike, White Bridge Pike. 40 eastbound now near Fessler's Lane. And on the Vern, 24 eastbound near Waldron Road. In Christiana, we've got a disabled vehicle blocking the right lane of 24 westbound near Epps Mill Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
I was just talking to an unnamed someone about our health. And, you know, as you get older, you need to make sure that everything that's going on inside of your body, that you're aware of it, because sometimes things could be happening inside of your body. And before they become symptomatic, they could become problematic. Well, Kraft Body Scan has the answer for you. When it comes to your health, obviously, you need to know what's happening. And Kraft Body Scan gives you that information, that knowledge. It feels great to know exactly what's going on in your body, especially when you get the thumbs up, the clean bill of health, which is what I got. So a couple of years ago, I went to Kraft Body Scan and said, I want the full Monty, I want the full body scan, and they delivered on the full body scan. And I can't believe this, but I got my lungs are all good after 17 years of smoking and now 20 years of not smoking. The lungs are A-OK. The heart, I'm like in the 90th percentile. That's a good thing, right? Do you know where your lungs are? Do you know where your heart is? You can with a couple's heart and lung scan for just $99. This is a $2,500 value. And for the couples out there, they want to introduce you to this concept of CT scanning that can help you identify issues. And here's the nice thing. If you do have something going on, I'd never wish that on you. But if you've got something going on, you're catching it so early before you're symptomatic, you are likely to solve that issue without significant problems down the road. Take advantage of this by going to togetherwescan.com, promo code MATT50. Togetherwescan.com, promo code MATT50, or call 615-436-1000, 436-1000. Hey, by the way, have you looked in the fridge today, Jackson? Somebody told me that someone left me milk. Now, I don't know why anyone would leave me milk. Wait, are you redheaded stranger is shaking her head. What was the deal?
It's chocolate milk from Charlie Hatcher.
Charlie Hatcher was here?
Yes.
Where would this be?
I mean, I assume
it's in the refrigerator.
I assume that it's in the fridge. So what? Charlie was on with Dan this morning.
Yes.
Dan Mandis.
Yes.
Of Nashville's Morning News, and I was left some milk. I was left chocolate milk.
Yes.
I guess Charlie Hatcher knows that I'm on the record as saying I'm not a fan of milk. I don't drink milk
at all.
No.
Oh.
Milk's for baby cows. And I had not. So before I say this, we need to figure out if there's chocolate milk here for me, because because it's yours if it is, Jackson.
Ooh,
because
can I have some?
Yeah,
can I have a sip?
So
his chocolate milk really is the best chocolate milk
that's what
ever.
everybody says. And so he was on with us several months ago talking about his run for District 5. And I assume he's still running if he's on with Dan this morning, so that's good. Rising tide lifts all boats and all that. I don't know the last time I'd had chocolate milk before I drank that chocolate milk. And as chocolate milk goes, it was delicious. It was absolutely fabulous.
It's probably a little strong then for you if you hadn't had it in a while.
Well, I learned that it's not just milk. I mean, it's not just like plain milk. It's all milk. I don't like milk. I don't like chocolate.
Don't like milk.
Like even chocolate milk.
Dairy is not your thing.
Well, I like cheese, but cheese isn't milk. Nope.
It's fermented.
Nope.
There's milk in it.
The funny thing is I have this discussion with people all the time. I'm like, I don't do milk. Oh, what do you mean you don't do milk? You don't do cheese? Yeah, I do cheese. Cheese is cheese.
Well, you said that. I wasn't arguing with you.
I know. But no. Jackson says nothing.
Stole it. I bet Dan took it all home.
What?
I bet you. If I were the betting kind, and I am, FanDuel.com.
Man. Okay, I got to figure this out now. Hey, do you have Mandis's number, Jackson, or no? You do? Find out if we had milk. And if so, what happened to our milk? I want to know. In the meantime, Pat is next up on the Matt Murphy Show. Hello, Pat.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
Great, Pat. What's on your mind?
I want to thank you, first of all, for having Pam on. I love Pam. I'm an old restaurant guy from Chicago. Been down here 4 years. Glad to be here. Love it. Nashville has nothing on Chicago when it comes to corruption. You know, what Freddie's doing, I've seen it my whole life in Chicago. I'm an old restaurant guy. I'm retired, semi-retired. I work at the airport a couple days a week. I'm a bartender. You can't get a business in the airport unless you know somebody and pay somebody. So Starbucks coming down here, they're just going to throw nothing but money at his next campaign.
Maybe. But that's dirty pool, right?
Gee, what a surprise.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we shouldn't be surprised. Pat, great call. It would not surprise me one bit. Look, I think it's a pretty easy concept for us to understand. Just because you reach a certain level of employment in terms of the amount of people that you're employing, just because your economic impact in a community is a little bit more than another business's economic impact, we shouldn't be throwing money at that one business against the other. I mean,
right, exactly.
That's just not the way that we should be doing things.
Yeah. And we believe that small business and entrepreneurs are the heart and soul of Tennessee, right? You've got more small businesses than you have these big corporations. Mm-hmm. It should be a level playing field in that it should be the environment that is inviting all businesses here.
Right.
Yeah. Not, I'm going to throw $30 million to you, and I'm going to give you $100 million over here. And the small businesses are sitting here going, we were doing everything right.
It reminds me of a little bit of 2008 when the banks were too big to fail. Mm. Now, if any business is too big to fail in the United States of America, then that business needs to fail. Because, I mean, we should not be propping those businesses up with taxpayer money and claiming that they're, quote, unquote, too big to fail. That should not exist. Similarly, you shouldn't be handing out money to businesses because they are larger. I mean, this is not a monopolistic system. Like, it's slightly different when you're considering, for example, an NFL franchise. That's a slightly different model. And I understand why communities would see the economic benefit of having an NFL franchise in their town. But that's not what Starbucks is. Starbucks is they're a big one, but they're just another business, and pitting them against the mom and pops with taxpayer funding is wrong. Just wrong. Tony is next. Hey, Tony.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to just kick in a couple of facts. Up here in Montreal, we live under an interventionist, you could call it socialist, you could call it left-wing government. In 1976, they said the Olympics were going to cost us $134 million. It ended up costing us $1.6 billion, and it took 30 years to pay off. A year ago, the Quebec government decided that the stadium was decrepit, falling apart, and they had to fix the O-ring. That's the circular ring that houses the lighting and electrical systems. That's going to cost $1 billion and the roof at the same time.
Good gracious.
Why am I mentioning all this? Us, the taxpayers, my house here in Canada was $4,000 a year, which was an enormous amount of money. In that period of time, my house went to $16,000 of real estate tax, $3,000 for school and $2,000 for water. And in the last 5 years, I paid $75,000. How did they pay for this huge debt? They said alcohol is no good, addiction for gambling is no good, and cigarette tobacco is no good. So what did they do? They put a tax on tobacco, a special tax. They pushed alcohol, and they pushed the casinos and created casinos. So when I hear, because I listen to you guys every day, because I heard of Dan Mandis and I heard of Chris Hand I heard Mandis on America at Night. So I said, I'm going to follow you guys. You're a red state. You're going to be a capitalist state. You're going to be protecting the idea of free market of ideas. You're going to have a right to have bear arms. You know, all of these freedoms that we talk about, I'm hoping that I'm going to see that in Tennessee. And then today, I hear you guys have a slush fund, $600 million to bring in the most, I would say, obnoxious, supercilious company in the world, selling $9 coffees to people that are my kids' age that are buying this nonsense. I go to McDonald's and buy coffee for $1. I could care less. And I'm telling your taxpayers, do not send back to Seattle this coffee company. I won't even mention their name. I will not even give them publicity. Send them back. You give that money to poor people that are working in small businesses. If you want to give them a break, give them back their tax money on their properties. I'm annoyed. You know why? Because in this country where I live, we're taxed 52%, $9 a gallon for gas. You know what I want to hear out of Mr. Trump? You don't want to hear Mr. Trump? I want him to say, if you're 65 years old and you're getting, I don't know what you guys call it, we get a pension in Canada. They tax our pension, which is our money that we paid into the system, that had I invested out of 30 years, I would have $2 million in a trust fund, except they give me back approximately $20,000 a year. If I had my own money invested, I would be receiving $200,000. So the government never does anything efficiently, and they're always using us as tax targets. I call you and me and everybody in the United States, we're tax targets. The lunch bucket guys, lunch bucket gals of the world, we are tax targets. And when we don't talk up, and when we say nothing, they continue to abuse our money. $600 million to bring in that company. You know what? I say go back to Seattle. Go back to the hellhole that you came from, the destruction that you did with Antifa and all that, and leave Tennessee alone.
Amen.
Let them, you know me, my son and I go down and we shoot turkey. It's turkey season up here, down at the border of Quebec and New Hampshire, and we're proud to do it. We shoot turkey, we eat the turkey. We shoot bear, we eat bear. And they tell us we're nuts because we like shotguns and we want to hunt. Hey, listen. We grew up, our countries developed in a frontier situation. I am not guilty because I'm white. I don't believe in any of this DEA, transgenderism nonsense. When you're in this country, you believe in God, you believe in a neighbor, you believe in flag and military, your country is prosperous. When you're fighting about ideological nonsense, and $11 coffees, you're losing the idea of why you're America. You are the last vestige of capitalism. Our country is gone. England is gone. France, Sanchez in Spain, Macron in France, Starmer, I call him the bootlicker, stormtrooper.
Oh,
he's a bot, and he's a paid. Look, these guys in Europe.
Yeah, London.
Okay, and
London's
a lot of
over. I mean,
politicians.
England's over. I mean, you're right. Hey, I don't mean to interrupt in there, Tony. I'm trying to sneak in there because we got to take a little break here in a moment. But I have a couple of questions for you. Number one, when are you moving to Tennessee, Tony?
Tennessee Timber Tony's coming to Tennessee, man. I love your place.
Number two.
Let's
go. Let's do it. Number two, Tony. Did you you live in Montreal right now?
Yes, sir.
Did you
and
know?
I work in Cornwall, Ontario.
Okay. Did you know Chris Hand when he was growing up in Canada, or what?
No, I just figured out because of the way he speaks with his accent that he has to be one of the imports. And you guys treat the Canadians very well down there. Yeah. I just want to say, my friend, I went to school in Maine, in Waterville, Maine, Colby College, and you American people are great. You created a plenipotentiary. I came to the United States to study because my government wouldn't pay for anything. Not saying pay for free, wouldn't loan me the money. And my dad would bring me to the United States every year down to Maine, down to Saco, Maine, and we saw how American people are friendly and a beautiful culture of people. I said, I'm going to school in Waterville, Maine, over Notre Dame, St. Louis University. I went down there to play hockey. You guys loaned me the money, and within a year, I paid you all back. But you created a plenipotentiary. When I come back to Canada and people are dogging your country, I'm going, no, they're a great country. Their leader is a good country. And they say, oh, Trump is USA first. I go, hey, what about us? Why don't we have leaders that say Canada first?
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
If you think, why should I attack a guy that's a gold medalist? If I want to be a gold medalist, I got to be able to be on par with that guy before I criticize him. And our government, they take from our government. They take from our people. We are tax targets. But your president wants to give you back money. He's giving back people that are waiters and waitresses money back. And people are attacking Trump. You should be happy that you have a man that's a billionaire that's trying to make you people, the middle class, rich. The middle class rich, not the super rich, richer like in our country. Our huckster of a prime minister wants the elitists to be rich. Trump, okay, I believe in that guy because he's an amazing guy. And when he made that speech and he read from the Bible, I mean, it was like he was a preacher because he believes in it. And people say he's not a Christian. Enough of that stuff. This man has been attacked 8 times. They tried to kill him. Only good people they have to eliminate because this guy is a popular person. 80 million votes. That's not true. He had 120 million votes because they cheated him. And January 6th is another fabrication of the left. AOC, okay?
Hey,
if I was married to AOC,
Tony,
I just want to say one thing.
Right,
if I was married to AOC, I wouldn't drive over any bridges. I would never drive over a bridge.
Tony, Tony, I lost you. That's a little bit of a premature caller rejection, but God bless you, Tony. Keep up the fight. Keep up that energy. I absolutely love that energy and that spirit.
Oh, yeah.
And come on down and see us sometime. Anytime you're ready, we're ready to receive you. It's 53 after the hour. We'll wrap up with the Redheaded Stranger coming up in a moment on Super Talk. I wouldn't suggest that Tony is low energy because Tony most certainly wasn't low energy. That's a high level of energy going on, friends. Well, if your energy level is down, if you're not feeling it, if you don't feel like you've got the verve or the vim or vigor, then it's time to get to the Tennessee Men's Clinic. I mean, obviously, they do a lot with men with regard to bedroom activity, with regard to intimacy with your significant other. And that's so very important to romantic relationships. And obviously, they want to help you solve whatever issues you might have. But it's more broadly about energy levels, whether it's going to the gym or working out in the yard, whatever it might be. You get to a point in life where you're like, oh, well, this is just the way it is. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Testosterone levels might be the cause of your issues, or it might be something else. Get to the Tennessee Men's Clinic and find out right now. The biggest complaint the men have once they go to the Tennessee Men's Clinic is that they did not go sooner. They have locations in Cool Springs, just south of Nashville, in Nashville proper. That's the OG from 2014, and now in Clarksville, just north of the city. So a location near you. The same telephone number for all three of these locations at 615-208-9090, 208-9090, online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
5 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, tracking some very heavy rain moving toward Nashville from the west. Some of that down around Mount Pleasant, Hohenwald, then up around just west of Clarksville, west of Dixon. Some of it very heavy rain moving this way, but nothing in the way of severe storms. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Officials say preparation for Super Bowl 64 is already underway and stress that Nashville will be ready for any infrastructure, security, and entertainment challenge. Legendary sportscaster Jim Nantz at today's press conference.
It doesn't get any bigger. If you actually took a Game 7 of the World Series, moved it here, a Game 7 of the NBA Finals, the College Football National Championship, the Final Four, and you branched off, and the last night you brought the Democratic National Convention, and then you brought the Republican National Convention, and you put them all in our new stadium. That total audience reach would not even come close to equaling the number of people that will watch our Super Bowl.
NFL Executive Vice President Peter O'Reilly was at the press conference. He said Nashville changed the NFL draft forever in 2019, and the expectations for the Super Bowl in 4 years are even bigger. A retired police officer in Tennessee will get $835,000 after spending 37 days in jail over a Facebook post after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Larry Bouchard was charged after authorities said it scared people, even though the authorities knew it wasn't a threat, and the sheriff admitted it was free speech to begin with. The prosecutor ended up dropping charges once the media picked up the story and it went nationwide. And a federal grand jury indictment has been unsealed against former Cuban President Raul Castro. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy with more from our nation's capital.
The indictment charges Raul Castro with murder in the 1996 downing of two small planes flown by Miami-based exiles north of Havana. The four men on board carried leaflets urging Cubans to rise up against their government. Fidel Castro's brother Raul was Cuba's defense minister at the time. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says the now 94-year-old former president will have to answer the charges in a U.S. court.
We expect that he will show up here by his own will or by another way.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
And President Trump taking a victory lap after his endorsed candidate in Kentucky beat incumbent Republican Thomas Massie. House Speaker Mike Johnson commented on the win.
I talked with the president late last night after everything was all the dust was settling over all the elections. And we talked about how his endorsement is the most powerful in the history of politics. I mean, anywhere in the world. I think it's just a phenomenon.
Meanwhile, President Trump defending the time frame of the Iran war before leaving to give the commencement address at the Coast Guard Academy today. He says he's not in a hurry to make a peace deal with Iran.
Well, let's put it this way. You were in Vietnam 19 years, right? You were in Afghanistan and these other places 10 years. You were in Iraq. How long were you in Iraq? 12 years? You were in Korea for 7 years. World War II is different. That was 4 years. I'm in for 3 months, and much of it's been ceasefire, so.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Rivergate still showing that injury crash, 65 northbound before Vietnam veterans. And the Gulch injury crash, 13th at Broad. Donaldson a crash, Briley Parkway southbound at Lebanon Pike. West Nashville, Charlotte Pike near White Bridge Pike. I-40 eastbound near Fessler's Lane. 24 eastbound near Waldron Road in Laverne. And in Christiana, got a disabled vehicle blocking the right lane. 24 westbound near Epps Mill Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy and the Matt Murphy Radio Show continues 5 minutes. Oh, no, check that. 6 minutes after 5 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Enjoying the conversation. Hope you are as well. You may participate, turn a monologue into a dialogue, or in this case, a dialogue into a trilogue. We'll welcome Cameron Smith to the show in mere moments by calling us up, 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. Lots of goings on in and around Nashville, Tennessee, all throughout the great state, the volunteer state, and all across the Southeast. We will talk about the NAACP telling black athletes that they should stay out of southern schools in southern states because, these Yankee schools in these Yankee states are so much better for the black athlete or the black student population, generally speaking. I have more on that coming up in a moment. We'll tell you the details of that as we are able. Jackson?
Yes.
I think I have some new information regarding the Mandis milk scandal.
Oh, I do too. I've texted with Dan Mandis.
Oh, have you now?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And what have you... So is it or is it not true that Mandis had Charlie Hatcher on his program this morning?
He did.
And is it or is it not true that Charlie Hatcher left milk for the afternoon show?
That is supposedly true. I have a statement from Mandis.
Oh, you have a Mandis statement?
Yes.
Oh, well, by all means, deliver us the statement.
I requested statement or response. I said, Matt is wondering what happened to his chocolate milk from Charlie Hatcher.
Uh-huh.
Mandis responds, he doesn't drink milk. I gave it to Sam.
What? 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 He just gave it to who he thought he wanted to give it to? It was not his to give. It was not his to give. Is Mandis some sort of liberal Freddie O'Connell politician just handing out other people's things willy-nilly without regard for the consequences? My goodness. Is Mandis... Dare we call it socialism? Dare we call it socialism? I dare. My goodness gracious. To each, or what is it? From each according to their ability, to each according to their need. So Mandis felt like Sam needed some chocolate milk in his life, so he just hands out my chocolate milk?
That would seem to be the case.
How dare you? How dare you?
You got to look out for that brother Dan Mandis.
Dan Mandis of Nashville's Morning News. Quite a good show. I will say that.
How dare you?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I can't say anything about his show because it's a quality program. But I'm beginning to question his morals if he's handing out my milk. I mean, Ken.
Were you going to drink it?
No, I would have given it to you guys.
So, Ken, me and you were really the ones who got miffed out of this whole...
Y'all got the shaft because of Mandis, Mr. Sticky Fingers, taking our milk and handing it out to his producer.
We're on the losing end of a socialist decision.
You are on the losing end of the teat, so to speak.
That's a bad place to be.
That's well spoken, Ken. That's well said. That's not the place that you want to be.
I'm rather parched myself.
You could go for some milk, I bet. Some delicious chocolate milk. Or, I don't care for it, but I understand that others do.
Oh, it's so good.
And I want to make sure that I'm plain spoken on this.
You're not casting aspersions.
I'm not casting aspersions on Hatcher's milk. I just have come to realize that not only do I not care for just milk, I don't care for chocolate milk either.
But you're not making a matter of taste a matter of fact.
No. I'm just saying I don't care for it. Y'all drink all you want. I mean, like I say, drink it hot from the teat. I don't care.
I don't think you get chocolate milk that way.
Yeah, you can't do that with chocolate milk.
Well, how do you know? That's what chocolate milk comes from the brown cows, right?
Yep. Jersey. It's the toxins.
Hello, Cameron. How are you?
I'm good.
Amanda stole our milk this morning. How about that?
What?
And gave it to his producer. How dare he?
Why?
Because he said it was my understanding that you don't drink milk, which is true. I don't drink milk, but we on the Matt Murphy show drink milk. Ken,
some of us do,
drink some milk. Jackson would drink some milk,
especially that milk.
Man,
is he running still? Hatcher? Does anyone know?
I did not hear the interview this morning with Dan Mandis. I heard about it because I was told that I had Charlie Hatcher delicious chocolate milk somewhere in the building for me because he brought it specifically for me. So I would assume that based on the fact that he was on with Mandis this morning that he is still running. If anybody heard the interview, let us know. Someone said 0324, Nashville's Morning News with Bernie Sanders. Hello, my name is Dan Mandis.
That's pretty good.
When you're talking about the multi-billionaires and the trillionaires, and you're talking about Nashville and the Super Bowl, we need to be talking about the people and the people's needs.
You're really good at that. That's a good Bernie.
I don't.
Will you do the I'm once again asking you?
What? What am I doing?
He does the I'm once again asking for.
I don't know.
Where he's in the coat with the glove with the mittens.
Oh yeah.
Or he can do the hand that he does that takes him away.
We're talking like this. We're talking about the billionaires, and then the hand goes way up here.
Yep, the hand has to go.
And that's what we're doing.
Mm.
And he has more energy in his little finger than I have in my entire body, and he's 98 years old. So I'm good at every impersonation I do. You know who it is. It's not really a good impersonation, but you know who. You know who I'm doing. It's like Mark Levin. It's just yell real loud and do a nasally voice, and you're fine. You're all good.
Do a little Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. Talking about
good
Walken snacks.
Yeah.
The Continental ants on a log.
Now do Cher.
Do you? Uh-huh. Do you believe in life after love?
And that's getting clipped.
She turned 80 years old today.
What?
80 years old.
And her booty is 50.
Well, that's what Brother Burrell
like
said.
15.
Yeah, I got it wrong.
Brother Burrell said, most of her's 40.
Yeah, Cher's 80. Wow.
The tough one for me has been Cindy Crawford in her 60s.
Yeah.
I mean,
I remember that Pepsi commercial.
Woo.
It was a good Pepsi commercial. I was a Pepsi man before then, but I knew I was in the right company when I watched her drink that Pepsi Cola during the Super Bowl. You remember that?
Yeah.
She watched the little kids. Wow. I was one of those kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
60, huh?
Yeah.
Matt is a regular Frank Caliendo. No, Matt is not a regular Frank Caliendo. Although I could probably do a Frank Caliendo if I really tried.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I've ever heard him actually use his real voice.
Yeah. Your Biden's pretty good. It's the nice trail off.
Oh, that's what he's talking about.
Right, exactly. And it makes no sense. It's great.
Jack. Corn Pie's a bad dude. Pamela Furr made me aware of this latest in big government conservatism in the state of Tennessee, where apparently we have a $600 million slush fund.
Mm-hmm.
And they can call it anything they want to call it. I'll continue calling it a slush fund until they disabuse me, if you will, of that terminology. But apparently $500 million is already dedicated to various businesses that have applied for these quote-unquote state grants. Cameron, I ask you simply, is this not picking winners and losers based on the size of one's company? And does this not seem to be somewhat unfair to the mom and pops that have worked their butts off in the state of Tennessee all of their lives to build up their businesses?
So one, we don't pick losers. This is giving money to the rich to make them richer, Matt. But what we do is we take taxpayer dollars and give them to extremely wealthy companies so that they come here.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah, so
okay,
yeah, okay. So they want to come here because we're an awesome state.
Yeah, because the taxes are low, the regulatory burden's low, all of those things.
Okay,
yep.
So that's cool.
Yeah,
and so we're like, hey, we want you here.
Yeah,
and because. I mean, that's why we have the taxes low. That's why we do what we do. That's why we operate the way we do. Come on over.
But then they have to retrofit the building they're going to put their people in, and that's not cheap.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's kind of the cost of doing business. So come on over. And
we just come here, and you expect us, expect the coffee people to pay for their own building retrofit? I mean, Matt.
I kind of did.
Yeah.
I kind of did.
I know.
I kind of wanted them to.
Right.
I feel like that's...
Well, this is corporate prostitution. And my libertarian streak, the free market in me is coming out. The notion that ECD, we could rebrand the or the Department of Public Prostitution, because that's really all it is it's rent-seeking companies that have size and capacity that say... Here's what we'd like for that. And then we have a choice to make. And so I'm going to defend ECD a little bit, too.
It's economic and community development.
Economic,
Stuart McWhorter's over
Commissioner Stuart McWhorter, Economic and Community Development. We have a choice. We can either play or not play. If we play, it's pay to play. That's how it works. These companies are rent-seeking. Who gives them the best incentive package is where they go. And if we choose not to play, we can say, hey, mom and pop, companies that are built here, that stay here, we'll give you the best deal. But then at some point, those companies get to a size where they're like, guys, if we go to North Carolina, they're going to give us a deal. And so that's how the game is played, and you can choose not to play. It is not conservative. It's not great policy. But we do this kind of stuff all the time.
Well, the problem is conservative states are competing against one another, and they decide to, in my opinion, play non-conservative games in order to achieve the goal, which is to get the companies, and they screw everybody.
Yes.
When they enter that arena of what is essentially socialism.
What we're basically telling you is get to a certain size that you can extract things from the government. Prior to that, you can't.
It's a similar notion as to what we saw during COVID. Remember when everybody got really upset because I was in Alabama at the time. I don't know if similar language was used up here. I kind of feel like maybe it was, where Governor Kay Ivey at the time said that we were shutting down all non-essential businesses, but essential businesses were allowed to stay open. And the business owners, rightly so, said, you know who my business is essential for? All of my employees that need to earn a living. You know who, I mean, right? And they were closing down what many would consider to be essential business anyway. And once again, it's this idea of picking and choosing who wins and who loses based on what seems to be arbitrary factors.
Yeah, and I'm perfectly fine if we say no incentives for anything. And
I'm fine with that too.
On the same note, I've worked on projects where, you know what? I've applied for incentives with companies, film subsidies or something like that, to say, hey, look, they're all over the place. As a capitalist, I'm looking for the best deal for my company. I'd rather do it here, but if I can make $500,000 more over there, I might want to do that.
And I admit a certain level of hypocrisy. So before I get called out on it, because I have said about NFL teams, for example, I've said about government subsidy on that stadium that there are only 32 of them, and the supply of NFL teams is very low. The demand is higher than you would believe, and so you got to do what you got to do when it comes to stadium subsidy. That's the same thing, though. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
and I wish that nobody would play ball. I wish that every community that's being asked by private business, hey, we need you to fork over $1 billion for our new plaything. I wish every town would say no. If every town would say no, then we could reset the game. But sadly, a lot of places want these businesses and want these entities a lot, and they're willing to pay for
I'll
it.
do the flip side. I think that ship has sailed. We're playing the game. Like, we were going to build a new stadium. I don't know if you do that. It was going to happen. We were not going to lose the Titans.
Right.
Divide $2.1 billion by 60,000. You can get some really weird math, by the way. It's terrifying how much those seats cost each. But what you can do on the back end is, okay, we're going to invest in you. If you don't grow the company, I'll use an example. Thanks. The company that's my day job, it came from New York to Tennessee because of low taxes, great environment, great people, relational, all that great stuff. The state makes, offers and deals that are kind of regular, not Starbucks size, but the idea is you're going to come here and you're going to grow. Thanks has come here and they've grown. Now, a company that comes here and doesn't grow and doesn't do the things they need to do to be a member of the community, you can do clawbacks. You can do other things like that.
But they never do them.
They don't, but you can. And I think that's where you got a chance.
Even when they put them on the front end, they don't enforce them on the back end.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
And my take on it is, yeah, I mean, this is it is just pay to play. But the question for us is, are we better off stealing a international coffee giant from Washington State that's basically socialist now, or are we saying we're going to close our doors? We don't want you here.
I don't think that's what we're saying. I think we're saying the aspects the aspects of our state that made us great include a principled belief that
fair.
It is not the role of government to subsidize your company.
Yeah, but we didn't actually have that belief. That's the problem with your argument. It's like, that is a great principled belief if we were to have it.
That's fair.
But we
don't
that.
really. We say it, and then they go, hey,
this is what we ran into
we're
with
employ all these
Raccoon
things.
licenses and everything, is that General Assembly, man, I love a lot of those guys. They're great. But a lot of the conservative-y things are sort of like, but you mean we not give out the goodies?
But yeah, but we don't get wait a minute.
We rein in government?
But wait, we've got to permit.
What if something bad happened?
Well, what if you didn't permit? Oh, my gosh, not permitting. Oh, my goodness. We got to permit everything.
Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
It reminds me of that old, remember post 9/11, you won't remember this, Jackson, you were like 2, when Tom Daschle up in South Dakota said, you don't professionalize until you federalize. It's that kind of attitude, right? Well, we can't have all of this unless we get a part of it. And it's skeevy. And it's not conservatism.
You want them to stack the deck for you. That's what you're asking for, is stack the deck to make it easier on us to do what we do.
What pisses me off is the mom and pop, because once again, I go back to COVID, where, these government entities said, no, we're not trying to harm anybody, but you are. You're harming so many people, and not by inaction, but by your own act. And the blood, sweat, and tears that mom and dad and son and daughter and grandma and grandpa put into these family businesses, once that's gone, that's gone. And I watch these people that are working their butts off, and they don't get provided anything in Tennessee from the state general assembly.
So what I would rather do,
and they don't want it either.
What I'd rather do is say, you know what? Here's how we're going to handle this. We don't have a state income tax in Tennessee for individuals, but for businesses we do. And so what I can do is I can take this $30 million, this slush fund, and I can say, here's the deal. You start a business in Tennessee. Until you reach this size, this amount of revenue, tax-free.
Yeah, I'm fine with abatements.
Right. You're going to build this thing.
I'm finer with abatements.
But my point is, you build it here.
Right.
We're not going to tax what you earn up to a certain point to get you started. We're going to incubate all you guys. Now, some of y'all won't make it. Some of you will.
And that's going to be good for us on the back end.
That's going to be great because you'll remember it.
24 after the hour. Charles, we'll get to you in a moment. I was going to get to the caller on line 3, and they hung up, and I'm sorry for that. Jeff, I believe it was, wanted to talk about subsidy. It's 24 after on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. Okay, friends. So you got, it's spring. It's hot outside. It feels like summer, right? And you're wondering, what do I do about these bugs that I see around? What do I do about these bees? What do I do about these ants? What do I do about these, whatever it might be, roaches or stink bugs or fleas or ticks or summertime bugs or even termites? You call U.S. Pest. They are your one-stop shop for all things solutions when it comes to pest control at your home and on your property. And it's not just about your home, although we focus on that quite a bit. It's the property as well. Dogs and cats, they go outside, they have a good time, they roll around in the yard, and then they come in and they bring the bugs with them. You need to protect yourself with U.S. Pest. They offer, by the way, if you're already a client, if you're already a customer, you can get a $50 credit on your account or a free mosquito, tick, or flea treatment on your property if you refer a friend or a neighbor. That's just another way that they give back to those who enjoy the services of U.S. Pest. U.S. Pest, all things pest control with 100% money-back guarantees. J.K. and Erica Brister are good Americans. They love this United States of America, and they hate bugs. USPest.com or 590-1260, 590-1260 for U.S. Pest.
.5:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Still got that rain approaching Nashville from the west, and some of it's heavy. Right now, we got some real heavy rain in this line. It's just west of Clarksville. Got it just west of Dixon, Centerville, Mount Pleasant, getting some very heavy rain. Pulaski down there next to the Alabama border. Right now in Nashville, preparations underway already for Super Bowl 64 in 2030. Legendary sportscaster and Nashville resident Jim Nantz at today's press conference.
This is just the beginning. This is a special day for all of us to feel good about and to celebrate. But Nashville right now is a force in the American sports scene.
Yeah, NFL Executive Vice President Peter O'Reilly said Nashville changed the NFL draft forever in 2019, and the expectations for the Super Bowl in Nashville, even bigger. Tennessee officials going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to settle a First Amendment lawsuit. Retired police officer Larry Bouchard was jailed for 37 days for a Facebook post after Charlie Kirk's assassination. The media reported it, and it went nationwide, and suddenly the prosecutor dropped the charges, and Bouchard was released. And then the sheriff admitted in a News Channel 5 interview there was no threat, but the public was scared. A historic day for Cuban Americans. U.S. federal prosecutors announcing the indictment of former Cuban President Raul Castro on the anniversary of the day the country was established. Castro's charged with 7 counts, including conspiracy to kill U.S. nationals. Officials say the 94-year-old allegedly ordered an illegal attack that killed American civilian pilots who were trying to rescue people fleeing Cuba on rafts in international waters. Here's ABC News Justice Department reporter Alex Mallon.
Although we heard Todd Blanche say over and over again, this is not just an indictment in their words for show. They do intend to somehow bring him to the U.S. to face these charges in a Miami federal courtroom. But the undertones of this are unmistakable. This is, in Todd Blanche's words, the highest level indictment that we've seen of a Cuban figure from the U.S. In terms of federal charges in essentially a generation.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes Rivergate, 65 northbound before Vietnam veterans. 40 eastbound near Fessler's Lane. A 40 westbound right there at the downtown split. You got a disabled vehicle blocking the right lane at exit 211. In Laverne, a crash, 24 eastbound near Waldron Road. Hermitage, disabled vehicle, right lane blocked. Riley Parkway southbound at Two Rivers Parkway. Antioch, a crash, right lane blocked, 24 westbound near Blue Hole Road overpass. B&A, a crash, Murfreesboro Pike near McGavick Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hi, friends. I have a brand new sponsor of the Matt Murphy Show, and I got a telephone number for you. And this is what I want you to do. If you don't mind, if you don't mind, call Timberland Cabinetry Company. They're located in Columbia. They've got a beautiful showroom in Franklin as well. And they've got a showroom in Columbia. So 2 locations to serve you for your showroom type needs. But you go online to timberlandcabinets.com. That's timberlandcabinets.com. You can find out more about this wonderful company that offers you an opportunity to reimagine your kitchen, reimagine your bathroom in any form or fashion that you so desire with quality product offered by Timberland Cabinets. But here's what I want you to do. Here's the favor. Give them a call and thank them for being a sponsor to this radio show and this radio station. They help provide us the opportunity to do what we do on a daily basis, and we so appreciate them. And I don't ask you to do this very often, but pick up the phone and dial 931-499-7170. That's 931-499-7170. Maybe if they're closed today, I think they close just after 5 o'clock, maybe first thing in the morning, and thank them for their sponsorship. Thank them for what they do. And I would remind you that they have wonderful opportunities for you. If you're in the market for new cabinets for your kitchen, if you're in the market for new cabinets for example, your bathroom, they got them. They make them right there in Columbia, and they can show you around. They founded themselves in Middle Tennessee in 2005. With a strong reputation, and they specialize in high-quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry. Their core mission is to deliver that high quality at a lower price point, and they do it every day. TimberlandCabinets.com or 931-499-7170. Grace Point Healthcare, affordable, convenient, and comprehensive medicine in a direct pay format. What that means to you, right in Franklin, Tennessee, is a location where you don't have to wait for long amounts of time to get in for an appointment. As a matter of fact, for even new patients, it's same day or next day most often. And you don't wait when you get to when you get to Grace Point Healthcare to the waiting area. They don't make you wait there for a long length of time, too. What's going on with that? Having to wait 45 minutes, an hour for an appointment that was supposed to start an hour ago? No, they don't do it at Grace Point. Grace Point Healthcare is your primary care provider that treats the entire family from newborns to seniors, and they do so in that direct pay format. What does that mean? It costs you less money that way because you know exactly what you're paying up front. As a matter of fact, you don't pay anything if you enrolled in the Smart Care plan, $99 for the grown-ups per month, $79 for the kids. You can pay that through your HSA, and you get unlimited office visits throughout the course of the year, plus free basic labs and diagnostics. This is the way to go, friends. And you obviously always can file with your insurance company for reimbursement after the fact. It's Grace Point Healthcare, located in Franklin, 599-6868, 599-6868. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Nincompoops on the way in just a moment or two. Our good friend Cameron Smith is with us until 7 o'clock today. Ken Weaver, good friend and fine newsman, is back in News Closet B. He delivers headlines twice an hour, and when it breaks, he also participates in Nincompoops in the News. Young Jackson Williams is behind the glass. J. Willie, if you will. Y2J, Action Jackson, Reaction Jackson. And he's got a good one for Nincompoops today, I suppose, right? I mean, you were just yawning in there. Is everything okay? You need a chocolate milk? Oh, wait. No, Dan stole all that.
I'm good.
No chocolate milk for you. We did have a listener saying the Mandis milk mystery should not shock you. He's from California, born and bred in California. You can take the Mandis out of California, but you can't take the California out of the Mandis.
You know what they got in California?
What do they got?
Raisins and communism.
It's well spoken. You don't say a lot, but when you say something, people listen.
Since when do I not say much?
I was about to say, he talks all the time.
Whether you like it or not.
Okay, let me, I need to restate my case. I don't listen to you a lot, but when I do listen to you on occasion, you make sense. Every so often, every once in a while. Not very often, not today so much, but some days. It's time for Nincompoops in the News.
Nincompoops in the News.
Sadly, I am here to report to you that Jackson Williams was the big winner yesterday. This is an opportunity for us to go all across the volunteer state, all across these United States of America.
Nay the globe!
Nay the globe. That's right. We look all over this planet of ours that we call Earth, and we find these nincompoops. There's a lot of them out there, and we present them to you on a daily basis, and you get to vote on your nincompoop of the day. You can vote Murphy. You can vote for Ken Weaver.
Yes.
You can vote for Cameron Smith. I suppose you can vote for Jackson if you so desire, if you want to hear all of that, the horn and all that King Jackson stuff. By the way, I don't know if you know this or not, Cameron. You won last week.
Yeah, I knew it was close. I didn't know that we tallied.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say it, and correct me if I'm wrong, that might be your first victory.
I don't know. I mean, frequently, I just throw up my hands because I picked something that you guys had already picked earlier in the week. So it's a lot of encouragement for me. I need it.
Jason wants to know where your cowboy hat is.
It's in my truck. That's where it is. It's in the parking lot.
Jason also wanted to know if you lost it during a remake of Brokeback Mountain, and I'm not going to dignify that by repeating that comment. That's awful.
That mountain's pretty rough.
That's,
What's that movie about?
I watched that film on a bet.
About rhinestone cowboys.
It is. My favorite scene in that movie is
we know what your favorite scene was.
You know,
you can't throw that curveball down the middle, buddy. It's going to get hit out every time.
My favorite scene is Randy Quaid's in that movie. He's like their boss that sends them up to the mountain to watch sheep. That they're supposed to be up there watching sheep, and he finds out that they're engaging in shenanigans, and so the next season, one of the guys comes back and wants to, get rehired, and he says, "No, I'm not going to hire you back." And the guy's like, "Well, why not? Why aren't you hiring us back?" And it was just him, and he goes, "I paid you to go up there and watch my sheep, not pluck the bloom off the rose with that other fella."
That's one way of
putting it. Jackson, what is the batting order for today's nincompoopery?
Williams, Weaver, Murphy, Smith.
Yay!
Boo. I don't mind.
All right, how familiar are you guys with Punch the Monkey?
Not very.
The little monkey who got the stuffed animal?
Oh, yeah, I've seen this
Japan?
story. Yeah, I've seen this
I
story.
thought this was a game.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. Punch the monkey.
But y'all are familiar with the little monkey who was an outcast.
Love it. Stroke the monkey. Kiss the monkey. Yeah, we're familiar.
Yes.
Sprockets. Yeah.
All right. 2 Americans arrested in Japan for climbing into viral baby monkey Punch's zoo enclosure.
Aww.
Oh. 2 Americans were arrested Sunday in Japan after one of them entered the monkey enclosure at a zoo where a baby monkey named Punch became a global internet sensation earlier this year, police said Monday. In a statement shared with CBS News, Japanese partner network TBS News,
yeah, go plow right through it, buddy.
Just
go.
keep going, Brother Jackson.
Hit it. You can do it.
The Ichikawa Police Department.
The itchy what?
Ichikawa.
What's a kawa?
Like
your back end?
The police department.
Oh, okay, sure. The Ichikawa.
The Ichikawa Police Department identified the suspects as 24-year-old Reed Gianni Dason, who they said was a university student, and Neil Jabari Duan, 27 years old.
Hey, hold on. I got a joke. You ready?
What's up?
Hey, Ken?
Yes, sir.
You know why Mr. Charlie Hatcher has such delicious chocolate milk?
Why?
He doesn't have itchy cows.
See what you did there.
That's the way to go, Brother Murphy.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate you. Sorry about that, Jackson. Go right ahead, please.
Dason reportedly climbed over a fence and dropped into a dry moat surrounding the monkey enclosure at the Ichikawa City Zoo outside Tokyo. Dewan allegedly filmed him. Images on social media showed a person scaling the fence in a costume that included a smiley face head with sunglasses, prompting the monkeys to scatter. The men did not come close to the animals and were quickly apprehended by Ichikawa Zoo officials. And an official with the Ichikawa police told the French news agency AFP. The 2 men face charges of forcible obstruction of business, which they refute. The duo did not have formal identification with them and initially tried to lie to the police about their names. Ichikawa Zoo said in a post on its X account Monday that from Tuesday, access to the enclosure housing Punch would be restricted with intrusion prevention nets installed and permanent patrols at the site getting underway. Zoo managers were also discussing barring video recording at the site.
I got Ichikawa one time in college, but if you put a little cream on it, clears it right up.
That's something you got to go to the free clinic for?
Yeah, sure. The student center, right beside the student center, the health center. Ken Weaver?
Yes, sir.
Does your story involve Ichikawas at all?
It does not.
Well, that's
but
good news.
It could lead to it.
Oh, my goodness. This is going to be exciting. Go right ahead, Ken.
Fox 2 out of Detroit. A couple renting a home in Westland were hoping their landlord was at the residence to do some house repairs. Now, if you ask Javon Crawford and his wife, the owner was there to be removing dead birds from the attic. But instead, when alerts on Crawford's wife's phone from their security camera came on, she was greeted with something much different. Their landlord was making himself at home with another woman, directly in front of the security camera. Crawford told Fox 2 he was walking back and forth naked. I think he made himself a sandwich. I don't know. Both Crawford and his wife were at the hospital with a sick grandma when the notifications came in. She just pointed the phone to me, and I seen him just doing what he was doing right there. Yes, live footage, time-stamped and everything, said Crawford. Crawford wonders if the landlord had done it before, saying he seemed too comfortable while in the act. Is it a crime? Well, the Crawfords handed the X-rated video over to police. Fox 2 asked several prosecutors and defense attorneys about what took place and whether it was illegal. Officials are split on whether it was a crime or not. It's possible the act could be trespassing, but it's likely more of a civil issue for violating portions of a lease agreement. Anyway, they went to the landlord to ask for a comment, and he just waved them off.
How do you find a naked story every day?
Because I look real.
I mean, I look for them.
A lot of naked people.
I mean, because if you have a naked dude walking back and forth across a window, you're already halfway to a winning nincompoop story.
Absolutely. Well, there are naked people since we've started this. There's a naked person arrested every day.
I suppose. Hey, Jackson, speaking of naked, was Punch the Monkey naked in your story?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go. There's some more nakedness. I don't have any nakedness in my story, and I don't spend a moment worrying about whether I win or lose, but there's nincompoops involved in this story I'm about to do, and I'm going to talk about them.
All right.
Oh, it's going to be a liberal again.
Oh, no, I started to do the NAACP in this segment, and I decided that would be unfair because that would be a slam dunk home run victory for me.
Thank you, Brother Murphy.
But so I feel like introducing the politics side in nincompoops is that's a little unfair, so I'm not doing that. I take you, however, to Milwaukee. Anybody want to name the beer that made Milwaukee famous?
Miller.
Schlitz.
Schlitz is the beer.
Oh, Miller's St. Louis, isn't it?
Miller is.
Well.
I think Miller's Wisconsin.
Maybe that is Wisconsin.
Maybe so, but I would say Schlitz is the beer that made Milwaukee famous. And I'm sad to report to you that Schlitz is no more. I'm mainly doing this because I really like saying the word Schlitz.
Better be careful.
I do need to be careful, kid.
Schlitz-faced.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Schlitz can get you Schlitz-faced.
Right. Which you can say on the air.
Which you certainly can. Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, or more directly, Pabst Brewing Company, has announced that it is ending production of Schlitz, which began as a Milwaukee tavern brew and was once America's largest brewer. The company was founded, anybody want to take a guess? Schlitz. Founded in Jackson, WAG. You know what a WAG is?
Wife and girlfriend?
Wild ass guess. Give a WAG.
Jeez, Jackson.
Milwaukee?
We're looking for a year. Oh,
1947.
Oh, 1849. So you're only 100 or so years off. 1849, it was bought by Pabst in 1999 to end the Milwaukee Icon, or to send the Milwaukee Icon off. Kirby Nelson with Wisconsin Brewing Company will brew a final 80-barrel batch of Schlitz Saturday, May 23rd, just coming up a couple of days from now. At his brewery, Nelson will then give a talk about the brand at 1 p.m. Nelson said Schlitz deserves to go out with, quote, dignity and respect. Let me tell you something. This dude's an nincompoop because I've had Schlitz, and nowhere in my experience, there's no dignity and no respect drinking Schlitz. You know what there is? Cheap beer.
And pain.
And pain. Have you ever had the malt liquor bull?
Bull?
Schlitz malt liquor bull. No?
That stuff will kill you.
That stuff is, Ken Weaver, govern your tongue. That's mother's milk.
When I was in high school, I just remember thinking it was a good idea to try Mad Dog 2020.
That's good. That's not good stuff.
It's not good.
I can't lie. Now, Mickey's malt liquor, that's good stuff.
What do y'all know about Taka vodka?
What? Taka vodka?
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about some vodka.
Sounds gross already.
It was about $8
I think it's Schlitz malt liquor bowl. I'm confident of that.
Malt liquor bull.
No one does it like the bull. Yeah, it's a big thing with a bull on there, and you drink it, and you fall over.
Yeah.
I defy you to drink more than 2 quarts of that stuff. And 99 cents a quart while in college.
That malt liquor
You
will
are
kill
correct.
Did you do Edward 40 hands?
Oh, my goodness. Nelson said Schlitz deserves to go out with dignity and respect. He'll be brewing the company's specifications from 1948 when it was on top of the U.S. brewing industry. Schlitz is back to Schlitz's glory days. Pre-orders for the final Schlitz will open May 23rd on Wisconsin Brewing Company's website. The beer will be available on June 27th. That same day, they'll hold a public event celebrating the brand. It is a sad day in America when we can no longer order ourselves a delicious Schlitz, and I'm sad for the people that will not be able to experience it if you've never.
Yeah.
Everybody involved in
It's
this
on the list of beers that are just like, why? I have a buddy who likes Natty Ice.
Cheap.
And I'm like, why?
Cheap.
No, but he's got resources. He has options.
I love Pabst Blue Ribbon. I have
just-
Pabst Blue Ribbon in my downstairs fridge right now.
And if it's your jam, I get it. But some of these, I'm like, this is really just kind of dirty, bubbly water.
Pabst Blue Ribbon is quality. And I would suggest to you that it's no longer fat. Like Schlitz has lost favor with Pabst Blue Ribbon somehow gained a resurgence with the youngsters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all know. I mean, somehow. I don't know how.
Hacky sacks are making a comeback.
Are they?
Yes. My boys, no joke, said in school, everybody's playing with hacky sacks. Have y'all ever heard of a hacky sack? I'm like, yeah.
He said that to you?
Yes.
Did you like smack him on the head?
I'm
What
like, yeah, dude. Like, hey, didn't mom have a hacky sack in the attic? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Because that's an old thing.
Oh,
and
man.
Oh, no, it's great. One of them made their own hacky sack out of athletic tape.
Oh, remember the skinny hippies in college who was doing the hacky sack, and they would hold it, and and they get it on their shoulder, and then they top it.
What was the Mexican, like, poncho-looking thing that everybody wore there for a minute?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly.
It's like a rug.
It was like a rug hoodie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just awful. But everybody was, like, doing that and, like, hacky sack, and, like, you got to have your Vans because it's got some flat edges.
Mm-hmm. We're not going to bathe for 2 years or wash our hair.
That grunge era was just, I'm glad it was short.
Weird time.
Yeah.
What is your nincompoop, sir?
Did did you guys do the unwanted handyman from Santa Rosa County?
I've not done any unwanted handyman.
Well, then. A Florida man was arrested last week on charges of trespassing on his neighbor's property. He's accused of performing unwanted handyman work on a faulty motion light and security camera. This is great. The Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office said the man, identified as 62-year-old Robert Boston, took a ladder onto his neighbor's property at 3 a.m. on March 25th, wearing only a watch, a headlamp, and flip-flops.
Yes, sir.
He is accused of removing a malfunctioning floodlight and Ring camera.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
As you do.
That's neighborly.
Yes. The poorly disguised Boston allegedly caused $800 in damages by removing the faulty equipment and pulling wiring loose inside the wall. He ignored no trespassing signs and went to work. He told investigators the floodlight and Ring camera had been malfunctioning for several weeks prior to the incident. The neighbor claimed this wasn't the first time Boston had done something like this, although it wasn't mentioned whether he was in his watch, headlamp, and flip-flop disguise prior to the incident. But they caught him on the security footage from the Ring camera doing nude repairman work.
Naked.
There you go.
On the Ring camera.
Yes, that was malfunctioning.
That's how we do it.
That's a real neighborly fella.
That is. That's a
nice
fine
of him.
fella. And, you know, he wanted to get over so quickly to repair the thing, he forgot to put on his clothes.
Did I mention he's married to Santa Rosa County School Board Chair Carol Boston?
Vote Cameron, vote Murphy, vote Jackson, vote Ken Weaver, vote early, vote often. It's 55 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Ba-dum, boom, boom, boom. Hello. Oh. I apologize for my premature jocularity. I got a little ahead of myself and interrupted Dan Mandis. My apologies to Dan and to all of the listening audience. I was excited to tell you about Efficient Heating and Cooling and everything that they do for our community. Every community within the sound of my voice is available for Efficient Heating and Cooling to come out and see what's going on with your AC. I mean, we're running it a little more often. Maybe you've noticed it's not running as it should. Maybe you feel like it's running too much, right? Where it's not getting as cool as it should be getting in the home, maybe not doing its job as efficiently as it should be doing, and this is causing you problems, and it could lead to untimely and premature breakdowns with your unit. That's why you need Jeff Eddy and his team out at your home. They'll help you out. They'll figure out what's going on. They'll fix it. Here's the wonderful thing. They will fix it if at all possible. Their first mission is to repair the unit as inexpensively as possible and get you back running properly. But if they're unable, if it's time, and they're an elite pro partner with Rheem, they can help you find the right unit for you and your family. Jeff Eddy's been doing this for a long time. He does not desire to be the biggest HVAC company in Tennessee. He wants to be the most reliable, the most efficient, the best. Efficient Heating and Cooling, 615-784-4424, 784-4424, or efficienthvac.net.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. I can tell you, we've got that heavy rain. It is almost here right now, covering Dixon, Clarksville. It is this side of Mount Pleasant now, and it is just heavy rain, nothing severe in it. Right now in Nashville, preparations underway already for Super Bowl 64 in 2030. And at today's press conference, NFL Executive Vice President Peter O'Reilly says Nashville already changed the draft forever in 2019. Wonder what they'll do with the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 64 in 2030 is going to be a game changer for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 64 in 2030 is going to be a game changer for the NFL.
Nashville drew an estimated 600,000 people to the draft in 2019. Tennessee officials going to pay $835,000 to settle a lawsuit filed by a man who was put in jail over Facebook memes after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Retired police officer Larry Bouchard spent 37 days behind bars after his post. Then the charges were dropped once the media started reporting the story, and it went nationwide. The sheriff even admitting in a News Channel 5 interview there was no threat. Former Cuban President Raul Castro is facing charges in the U.S. for his alleged involvement in the deaths of humanitarian workers 30 years ago. The Justice Department came back with a 7-count indictment charging Castro with murder. 2 planes carrying humanitarian aid were shot down in 1996, and 4 people, including 3 Americans, died. President Trump, after landing back in Washington, was asked about whether the U.S. would increase its pressure on Cuba, either through sanctions or military action.
There won't be escalation. I don't think there needs to be. Look, the place is falling apart. It's a mess. And they've sort of lost control. They've really lost control of Cuba.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Antioch got a crash blocking the right lane, 24 westbound near the Blue Hole Road overpass. Downtown Split, a disabled vehicle blocking the right lane, 40 westbound there at exit 211. And then a crash 40 eastbound near Fessler's Lane. It is a parking lot if you're eastbound 24 from 440. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the final hour of a Wednesday edition of the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Hello, how are you? Ken Weaver's back in News Closet B. He delivers headlines twice an hour and when it breaks. Jackson Williams, we're not really sure what he does around here, but he's behind the glass. Cameron Smith is with us. He writes for the Tennessean, and occasionally you hear him on our podcast, All the Best Words. Like, subscribe, do all of that. There will not be a podcast this week, sadly. There will not be a podcast next week, but we're back after it in June. So there you go. It was on me for this week. It's on you for next week, right?
Yes.
Is that correct?
We are going to Gatlinburg.
How about that? Yeah. When's the last time?
I hadn't been in a minute.
Been in forever.
Yeah, we're going with my in-laws and my brother-in-law and his wife and son. So we're having a big family hoo-ha after we get out of school.
Hoo-ha?
Hoo-ha. And
you rent a like a cabin out there?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Way to get it done.
And I need a break, man. I just need to stop for a second. I like to work. It's fun. Every now and then I need to catch up.
I was talking to a group of people, and I think you'll appreciate this, particularly based on what you just said. I was talking to the Murray County Republican Women's Group yesterday. They invited me to their monthly lunch and asked me to speak with them, and they wanted me to talk about the 250th birthday of the United States.
Sure.
And I spoke to them about the kind of the angel. I fight my pessimism.
Yeah.
Because I want to choose to be more optimistic.
Yeah.
And I was talking a little about that, how I look at them as the kind of the angel and the devil on my shoulders, right?
Yeah.
Telling me how the future of the country is going to turn out. And, of course, the pessimistic side says it's all going to hell in a handbasket, and the optimist reminds me that the people are what make the country great. And I told them, when I consider this, I've come to the realization, do you know when I feel worst about my country?
When?
It's when I'm on my phone, on social media.
Amen. I told you that I still have not put social media back on my phone.
Good for you.
So it's on my laptop, right? I can use it when I need it. That's the reason some of you guys haven't seen me on X more, is because it's Facebook, X, they're not on my phone anymore. I feel so much better.
And I'm not talking about, look, my Instagram algorithm is tip-top, and I love it. I love the gram, and I get it. I spit the bit on the gram for a long time, but now people have perfected making the little videos, and they're funny, and they're fun, and I just enjoy the hell out of it. TikTok, occasionally I'll get on there because I feel like the Chinese need to know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so,
that's fair.
That's cool. But on the X machine and on any place online where there is political discourse, I never feel worse about America than when I'm sitting there reading some of that garbage.
So I've had so much fun because, as Dave Chappelle famously said, Twitter's not a real place.
It's not.
And so I just have fun. I like when people get really upset and they're like, that's not funny. You're using too many memes. I'm like,
okay.
I have not yet begun to meme.
Yeah.
But I do it on my laptop now, and I don't have the gram. I don't have any of that. Nothing on my phone.
Well, that's good. Well, the point that I was making is, when I feel the worst about my country is when I'm on social media platforms that talk politics. When I feel the best?
When?
Is when I'm on my motorcycle riding through the state of Tennessee. When I'm
human contact.
When we're on the highways and byways and going to find these little villages that we never knew existed. I was in Bell Buckle. We were in Bell Buckle.
Love Bell Buckle.
Bell Buckle is so wonderful. What a great and the cafe down there.
Mm-hmm.
Tip. I mean, just that is what it ought to be,
get
man.
Out and go. And yeah. I've got buddies, and we, periodically go find just random things to get into, right? We went to now the subject of great controversy, the Uncle Nearest Distillery. But we went and learned all about that. Like we're trying to find time to go do human things.
Is it true
that matters?
Is it true that some of that story is made up? That's what I hear.
The sort of
the whole
folklore around Nearest
right.
and Jack Daniels and all that.
Right.
I don't know, but it's a good story.
I mean, sure. I mean the Jack Daniels. Eric and I toured Jack Daniels years ago, like 12 years ago or whatever. We were we were visitors. We were not residents. And the story that they told about how Jack Daniels died. Have you ever heard the story? Mm-hmm. Or Jack Daniel died? He basically died because he forgot the combination to a safe. And he got so mad because he couldn't remember the combination of his safe. And they still have his safe, right?
Is this the thing he kicked it or something?
Yeah, he kicked it, and he was mad, and he kicked it, and his toe, like, split open. His toe became infected. He couldn't stop the infection on his toe, so they had to cut off his toe. Well, then that became problematic. They had to cut off his foot. They cut off his leg, and then he died. It took like a year, but he died because he couldn't get in. And so Erica raised her hand. We're on the little tour. We're sitting there. We're looking at the safe. And she asked a question, and the guy swears that he had never been asked that question. I have a hard time believing it. She's like, well, what was he looking for in the safe? Like, what was he trying to find? What's in the safe? Has the safe ever been opened? And the guy said no. He goes, y'all don't know what's in that safe? And he said no. And I'm like, I have a difficult time believing. I think this is just a Bravo Sierra story that you tell.
Hey.
Because it's a cool little story.
We call that history, Matt.
Sure, we do.
History is just a bunch of stories. Some of them are factually accurate. Many of them are, special. Like most things about Ben Franklin.
What?
Like Ben Franklin made those up. Like
Ben Franklin was an American treasure, sir.
Actually,
and he liked his beer.
He did, and he liked his women.
He did. Those are facts.
The factual thing that's my favorite thing, this is a slight history deviation, is he basically saved America by wearing his spectacles and a coonskin hat in France. So he had a coonskin hat on, and they went to French parties.
Right, because as the story goes, is that he was intentionally trying to look like a rube.
Yeah. Well, he was.
Is that true?
He very much wanted to draw attention and look different, and he very much did because in these French socialite parties, a lot of wigs, powdered wigs, stuff like that. Sure. He's wearing the coonskin cap and spectacles.
I like it,
and I like the larger than life. You know, I want to believe that's true.
I quoted Benjamin Franklin the other day on two separate quotes. Number one, I believe is factually accurate that he was asked by, I want to say, a Maryland state representative or the wife of a state representative. She asked, what type of government shall it be, Mr. Franklin?
A republic if you can keep it.
If you can keep it. The other, I'm not so sure. It's attributed to Benjamin Franklin, but it's one of my favorite quotes, is that pessimism is a superior attitude to optimism. Pessimists expect and prepare for the worst and are pleasantly surprised when it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool. Where are you on the Thomas Massie affair?
I think dissent's good in the Republican Party. I think it makes the party stronger. I think if you dissent to the point, like you got to pick and choose, right? You can't dissent all the time because that's what Democrats do. If you pick an issue and say, you know what, on this spending stuff, I'm going to fight you because you keep spending like Joe Biden. Okay, cool. People can handle a little bit of that. But if it's, well, I'm not sure that, like, I'm going to be antagonistic towards Israel. I'm going to be antagonistic on every spending thing. I'm going to fight. I mean, at some point, you kind of lose touch with the rest of the club. And Massie's problem was not that he wasn't right a lot. It's that he was kind of a jerk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not, you can disagree. Senator from Louisiana, not Cassidy, the other one.
Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. Kennedy disagrees with Trump on a number of different priorities, but he does so in an affable, fun way.
Oh, shucks. Cameron?
I'm just going to have to disagree with you on this.
That's just $1.8 billion. Sow belly.
Your $1.8 billion slush fund for your friends, for these wrongful prosecutions. All shucks. But he doesn't go disagree with the president on everything.
By the way, what's the president doing there? I haven't talked about this very much, but what are we doing?
We should not. It's just...
If they want to right wrongs, then allow the people that have been wronged an avenue by which they can get into a court of law and have a judge or a jury determine whether or not there are wrongs committed. I don't want some rando committee picking winners and losers. We were talking about winners and losers earlier.
Fourth Amendment cases, you got a lot of different ways. I love the cause of action route of saying
yes,
but you got to prove up your case in a court of law.
Yes,
the idea that there's a fund that we're just going to award people. Are you kidding me? Like that's as corrupt as it gets. And even if you don't think that the Trump administration is corrupt. Imagine that that's Joe Biden sitting right there saying, my son Hunter was wrongfully prosecuted and I need to make him whole. His art career was damaged. And I
had a robust art career.
Art career, and now it is scuttled, and I've got to make him whole. And what are you going to say? Well, no, that's not legitimate. Fine, but like if it's truly discretionary, that's your problem.
And I'm not, again, make no mistake about it. If individuals have been wronged by our government in the past, I am in favor of creating an easier way, an easier path for them to be made whole. I'm fine with that. What I don't want is some appointed panel by the acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, to make determinations about who gets money and who doesn't get money.
Prove it up in court.
Yeah.
I'm wronged by the government every April 15th. Okay?
Yeah.
So, like, if we're going to make it right, like, we can make a lot of things right. This just looks bad, and it's going to be a campaign ad for Democrats.
I agree with that. And you know what? It's a demonstration on my part, at least, and I would say as much for you too, Cameron, that we don't have to agree every time when it comes to Donald Trump to, generally speaking, support many aspects of his presidency, which I do. I don't support necessarily this, but it doesn't turn right. It doesn't turn, and this is what, and I also talked about this yesterday. This concept that because I disagree with Donald Trump on this one thing that suddenly I'm anti-Trump. I'm not anti-Trump. Far from it. I am pro-Trump. I disagree with him on this. I disagree with him on a couple of other things that he's done of late. I am sour and have been from the beginning on the Iranian conflict. I mean, but that's just, what am I supposed to do? Pretend that I'm not?
Well, and I think that's where we just have to be honest, right? Like, year over year, federal spending's up 3%. And it was up, like, we criticized Joe Biden for out of control spending, and we're doing it. And we're just sort of like, oh, it's fine. Call a spade, say this is where we are. There's nothing wrong with that. But the point is, read the room. Be self-aware that find a thing that's going well and cheer for the team there. If you're the fly in the ointment all the time, eventually somebody's going to pluck you out.
Attitude's everything. And I said at the beginning of the show that you had every opportunity, Thomas Massie, to get Matt Murphy. I mean, because I'm right there with you on fiscal conservatism. I'm right there with you on spending less money. I'm right there with you on our overspending, our inability to stop spending fake money is the
Epstein
biggest
files. Yeah.
Well, I'm with you on the Epstein files until you start lying.
Sure.
Because when you sit on CNN's set and tell me I know the names,
and we never hear
the names, I'm like, you don't have to go there to make the point. Why are you choosing to do that? Why are you acting like the morality police when everybody else is supposedly the bad guy and you're the only good guy in the room?
You agree with transparency on that?
No, I want all of it wide open. I think we overclassify millions of documents that should not be classified at all, and I want all of it on the table so that we can see all of it. But he focused in on most of the I'm against Trump on this stuff. He chose the route of, highlighting the times that he sidled up to the Democrats on so many things. And I think his constituents got tired of the drama.
Yeah, well, so what's actually interesting is I worked for his predecessor, Jeff Davis. And so I know that district well. It's northern Kentucky, like right along the Ohio border. The biggest issue I think he was super smart, and he let you know it.
And they don't like that?
And no, most people don't. It's not that district. That district is a lot like the districts right around here in Middle Tennessee. The problem is when you let people know how smart you are and you're so principled and you show it. And I've been guilty of this. I've had to have people tell me, like, shut up. Like, you stop trying to convince people that you know a thing because you're a dork. Listen to them, respond to them, and they like you more.
Well, and what he did last night, I think, was a 20-second indication of why he lost. When he came out and said, I would have been out with my concession speech earlier, but I tried to find my opponent
in Tel Aviv.
And he was in Tel Aviv. I mean, that's just a turd comment.
Well,
I mean, the suggestion is that AIPAC beat you. Well, AIPAC spent money.
Yeah.
And AIPAC spent money because they were pushing back against what they considered to be your anti-Semitic language. But AIPAC is no greater an entity than any number of political lobbying entities.
It's a pretty substantial one, but
they're
they're
like 25th in terms of the amount of spending nationally on candidates. And I mean, if you want to talk about pharmaceutical companies,
yeah, sure.
I mean, if you're going to criticize AIPAC, then all of y'all that are criticizing AIPAC need to start criticizing the NRA.
I don't have a problem with AIPAC spending money either. So my point is, on the margin, I think
mattered.
It mattered,
agree.
yeah, of course. But I still think here's the flip side of what I'm saying though. Like he earned his L right there. However, one of the mistakes that Trump is making, and we're going to see this with Cassidy, we saw this with the Iran war stuff, where that vote flipped, is you don't have a Republican majority without libertarians. You must keep them in the fold. Now, they're not going to go run to the Democratic Party.
Just sit at home.
But they may sit at home. So you've got to say, hey, my disagreements with Massie notwithstanding, I hear you on the policies that you care about. Trump isn't doing that. He's certainly not doing it on Iran. And I think it's going to matter.
I think Iran matters the most.
Yes.
The overspending, I don't think matters nearly as much as we would want it to.
So
I mean, our libertarian friends do. It does bother them. It bothers you.
I'll say the spending is the number one issue, but most people don't care about it. It matters.
They claim
the most,
that they do, but they don't.
Nobody really cares. They're like, yeah, we'll be fine, and then things will break, and it won't be. Iran, I think, matters because it's a short-term issue. You've got some real tension between the different branches of government, and the communication for the Trump administration has been abysmal.
Look, I'll say this. We got to go to a break, and we'll get to more calls. I do this for a living. I think I understand better than most people the ins and outs of the justification for going into Iran, their rationale, the opposition's points on it, point, counterpoint. I think I understand all of that. It doesn't matter when I'm standing at the pump and I'm pumping $4.29 gallon of gasoline, and this is me, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm literally standing there going, what am I getting for this again?
Yeah.
Because right now I don't see it. Now, you can tell me what I may get down the road. What I'm telling you is we better damn well get that quickly. If you are in support of what's going on in the Middle East, we need to see the fruit of that labor quickly. Otherwise, we're going to get destroyed in November.
And incidentally, the fruit can't be you're not dead yet.
No.
That people will not respond to that. They're like, I am very much alive. I'm in America. I'm not concerned about Iran shooting a missile at me. But I am concerned about $5 gasoline.
Well, and you can convince me that I ought to be concerned about them getting a nuclear weapon.
Sure.
But if you don't secure their uranium, then I don't know what we're talking about. It's 24 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Legendary coach Lou Holtz once said, before people spend the money, they ask 3 questions. Can I trust you? Are you committed to excellence? And do you care about me? Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Eurofix. Eurofix built its business on answering those 3 questions with a bold and emphatic yes. Back in 1999, owner Aaron Stokes was by himself in a 1-car garage in downtown Franklin. He moved to a shop in a barn behind his home so he could stay closer to his family, and he built his dream of offering the best service on European vehicles at below dealer pricing. Flash forward to today, the barn's gone, and sadly we've lost Aaron as well. But Eurofix is thriving with 5 locations: Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet, with more to come. All work comes with a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty and a rental car available with every appointment. So ask yourself, can you trust them? Do they care? Are they committed to excellence? And I will say yes, yes, and yes. MyEurofix.com. That's MyEurofix.com. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I want to talk to you for a moment about Contours and Contours LLC. Contours gets it done, friends. My friend Keith at Contours just announced his engagement. How about that? Congratulations to Keith and his fiancée, Catherine. They're great people. We're so happy for them. They're getting married in April of next year, and they're going through all of their wedding fun. And it got me to thinking about weddings, right? If you have a very special occasion that is coming up, what about the ultra slim equipment at Contours so that you can look your best for the big day? So for you brides or you grooms out there, 6 weeks out, thereabouts, Contours red light technology is safe, it's effective, it's non-invasive, it's cost-effective. There's no pain, no downtime, no risk. After all, they've been in business for 5 years now. They have tons of success story. So if you're getting married anytime soon, Keith and Catherine understand what you're going through. Put in a visit to Contours LLC. Put that on your list of things to do. I promise you, red light treatments for your belly, your chest will ensure that you look your best on the big day. ContoursLLC.com. That's ContoursLLC.com. Just $99. That's the Belly Buster Special. 615-236-9960. 615-236-9960. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Hey, y'all think if we start saving up right now, we can afford to get into that Super Bowl?
No.
All right.
60,000 seats, okay?
Or a little over. There'll be a little more. There'll be a little more than that. Come on.
Those tickets will be $60,000 a piece.
Some of them will be $60,000. What do you think the crappiest seat will go for in 2030 for the smallest venue ever to host a Super Bowl? Just over 60,000 seats. I bet you they'll cram in 60. Oh, I think it'll be more like 10.
You think 10?
I think the crappiest seat in the house will be $10,000.
Well, the rate of inflation's going, probably.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm overselling it, but 4 years from now, Nashville, Tennessee, it's going to be something. It's going to be something. I don't know that it's going to be something that I'm going to see in person.
No, by that time, we'll probably have drones that fly in the air and just kind of hover with your ability to sit in them and watch the game.
I asked someone that was involved in the construction of the new stadium whether or not we are close to tech. I want Harry Potter type technology on the roof, right? So, or Harry Potter type magic. What I mean by that is the roof is now opaque. You can see through it.
Right.
Right. Or I guess that's not just translucent.
Translucent.
Not opaque. It's translucent.
Doesn't open.
Does not open, but you can see through it. I want the ability to change that roof to whatever we want, whether it's advertising, whether it's a beautiful, clear night.
Do you know how many square feet? I looked this up today. You know how many square feet of screens are in that stadium?
I don't know.
77,000 square feet.
Wow. Yeah. See, we could do kind of like the Sphere does on the exterior skin. I want that on the roof. But I feel like that we are close to the technological ability to transpose that and boop, and it's up there. And it's like, oh, look, there's candles hanging like Harry Potter in the Grand Hall and whatnot.
I want football to have random obstacles pop up in the field as they're running.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just
the old Coliseum days where now there's a tiger now. Now we thought we were going to have a touchdown, but now the running back is dead.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate.
People's appetites they want something a little more extreme. We've been gambling now for a while, so it's probably gladiatorial contest next.
By the way, you know what else I heard? That I heard that there would be a push next General Assembly in the state of Tennessee for casino-style gambling in this state. That's what I've heard. And I have heard from people in the know, and I don't know if these people have the ear of the powerful and the leadership over there, but I have been told that there is a belief that you can achieve certain types of gambling in the state of Tennessee without having to go to a vote of the people for it. But because you only allow games of skill as opposed to games of chance. So no slots.
But darts.
Or table games. And I don't know.
I don't know. The libertarian comes out in me in all of these things. It's like, do what you want.
Yeah, I don't care.
Nobody is forcing you to go to these places.
Precisely. 32 after the hour. No one, well, we're being forced to go to news. I say that. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Are you getting excited? I'm certainly getting excited. Let me tell you what about. It is May 20th. That means that we are 10, count them 10 short days away. So this is the last time I'm going to tell you about the big-time Glock Store open house when there are double-digit days left before the big-time Glock Store open house. That's what it's all about, friends. We are here. We are just around the corner from the open house. It's the event that people wait for the entire year. Last year, the Glock Store gave away about $25,000 worth of stuff over the course of 4 hours. And I thought, well, this is all you can do, right? You can't give away more stuff than $25,000 worth of stuff in 4 hours. The team at the Glock Store, Lenny and the rest of the crew, they have said, just hold their beer, so to speak, and watch them. Almost $50,000, right around $50,000 worth of merchandise will be given away on May 30th at the open house at the Glock store. It starts at 10. It goes to 2. Get there early. If you get there, the raffles start like almost immediately. So you get your, quote, ball in the bucket, so to speak, your raffle in the bucket, and you're there ready to go as they begin calling out names and calling out raffle numbers and offering prizes galore. Multiple Glocks will be given away. Other guns will be given away, accessories, ammo. The entire thing is happening at the Glock store, their location on Airlane Drive from 10 until 2. Heck, it's such a big deal. Cabana Wife's going to be there with her delicious cookies. Oh, they're so good. I hope that I get a cookie. I think I will because I'll be there early too. Dan will be there. Chris will be there. Matt Murphy will be there. And we want to see you at the Glock store. Find out more at glockstore.com. Glockstore.com. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. Cover Nash is on my mind. Cover Nash can help you, and they want to help you. Shane Ring wants you to know, well, first and foremost, if anyone tells you, well, we can't do that until open enrollment season, if you're talking to them about your health insurance, you need to get out of there because there are many, many things that you can do when it's not, quote, unquote, open enrollment to help you save money, to help you get better coverage for you and your family. Premiums are obviously up for 2026, and if you're just not up for it anymore, if you are a baller on a budget and you need to save some money, contact Shane Ring and see what he can do for you. You do not have to play by Washington's rules. Shane can shop the entire marketplace in the state of Tennessee. That's over 75 plans and courses of action, and he can find the right one for you and your family. Self-employed or uninsured, or maybe just tired of paying too much, it's time to call Shane Ring and Cover Nash at 615-465-0023, 465-0023, or online at covernash.com. Once again, covernash.com. My headphones are what? Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Maybe I bumped this over here. You never know. It is Matt Murphy. It is Cameron Smith. Jackson Williams behind the glass. Ken Weaver is heading on to the house. It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and we're pleased you've decided to join us. And we just got a message from 0449. Matt, every time you buck up against a Trump, it only takes about 2 weeks until you're backing him all the way. Can you name another libertarian that has been on the political stage recently? Cop out, I think.
Rand Paul?
Rand Paul is a libertarian. He runs as a Republican because that's how you win statewide elections, by getting on the ballot. No, I understand that Republicans and Democrats, much like Coke and Pepsi, they like to be the only players in the room. Mm-hmm. And so they have boxed out third-party candidacies in most of these 50 states. But I would love to see a third-party candidacy grow in its efficacy and grow in its power because I think, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah, I think ballot access limitations are ridiculous.
I do too.
I think if you want to run as the sandwich party, you should be able to do that. I don't think that the idea of Republican or Democrat, for example, there's a lot of people that say I'm a Republican that don't have any affiliation or ever have any interaction with the formal Republican Party of the state of Tennessee or the National Republican Party. And so I think that's where we kind of, here's a wild take. I don't think the state should run elections.
I don't either.
For private parties.
I don't either.
Like if you,
why am I on the hook for that money?
Right.
Close the primary, run a caucus. I don't care. Pay for it yourself.
If you want to do it as the party, otherwise we should have a primary that the state does run that says, hey, if you can get this many signatures, you can run as whatever you want. You can call yourself a Republican, a Democrat, a Libertarian. I don't care.
Well, and I will make the case there are many Republicans in the General Assembly, and I think someone carried this bill this year to close primaries.
Yes, every year.
And I'm fine with that. If you close primaries, I'm going to argue before the General Assembly in any capacity I have the ability to do so, that if you close the primaries, then the taxpayer should not be on the hook for footing the bill for those primaries. That should be on the parties. And if the parties recompense the state for running it, the state can still run it, but they have to pay the state back for the cost of running.
Yeah, and some states will actually let you have ballot access if you meet the minimum threshold, and then you declare your party. If the party wants to control and say, we decide who's a bona fide Republican and who's not.
Like they're doing in Tennessee.
Yeah, I reject that. The idea that I need a party apparatchik to determine for me who's real Republican and who's not is an indictment on the party.
Well, and it sucks. And I'll give you an example of how it sucks. Stuart Parks. Stuart Park was booted off the ballot because he did not vote in one of the previous 4 election cycles, and he didn't do so because he was in jail.
Robbie was too.
But he was a political prisoner. Robbie was not in jail, but Robbie was booted off the ballot for that reason. I'll give you an even worse example. And I understand this is near and dear to my heart because I like this woman, Debbie Matthews in Columbia. Debbie's a great lady. Debbie was I think she was the party chair in Murray County for the Republican Party at one point. She was running for the state executive committee, and they booted her off the ballot. And the only rationale that they gave was that she had said negative things about the Republican Party on a radio show that she is a part of in Columbia. And I'm like, Debbie, what did you say? And you know what she said? She called them the low T GOP. And she said that was kind of funny. It's funny, also true. And she was calling them low T GOP. And Scott Golden said, no, you don't get to say anything nasty about us. And I mean, you know what? It's their club. I suppose they can make the rules that they want to make, but not when I'm paying for some of the bill.
Yeah. Well, my point is that we can change this real easy. We can just say, hey, you need 10,000 signatures to get on the ballot, right, in a primary. If you want to put next to your name, I'm a Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, whatever, knock yourself out. Why in the world do we give a political monopoly to a club?
Agreed. Now, as far as the other comment goes from 0449, and I appreciate your commentary, 0449, you say you buck up against Trump and it only takes about 2 weeks until you're backing him all the way. No, I'm dealing with issues. I'm not dealing with a personality contest. Donald Trump is what he is as an entity. So these are not commentaries on him as a person. These are commentaries on his actions as president of the United States. So I might disagree with him on Iran and be all in and with him on the SAVE Act or on the Big Beautiful Bill or on border security or on some of his economic deregulatory policy prior to Iran shooting some of the prices of energy and whatnot up. So I can be with the man, against him on this issue and still with him. That is not changing my course. That is the issue changing that we're discussing.
Yeah, and guys, I hate to break it to you, but Donald Trump's not going to be president in 2 years.
He's not. And what are you going to do then?
Yeah, if the answer is, and this is the atrophy that I was talking about, if you're reflexively saying whatever Trump wants is what we're for, he will be gone.
Then what are you for?
Well, whatever. This is the first, I mean, let's be honest. This is the first time any major political party has, maybe Obama, but has said uniformly, whatever one person wants is what we do. That person is going to go away, and then you aren't going to be about anything because you haven't had any principles. And I'm telling you that because I love you guys. We have to have the principles.
And by the way, I haven't changed my position on foreign wars, right? I want to entangle ourselves in some of these things only when absolutely necessary. And I have said for years that getting into Middle Eastern conflicts is not a good idea, and it's a quagmire for anybody. And for those of you saying, because I got a lot of crap on the front end of this Iranian conflict with people say, well, Donald Trump's going to do it better. He's going to do it better than anyone else. He's a master negotiator. I don't disagree that he's a master negotiator, and that's all fine and well and good. This is the Middle East, and he's found himself up to his knees just like other presidents have found themselves.
Yeah, he's the best negotiator with terrorists.
Right. Well, and when you're negotiating with people that are just going to lie to you to get what they want, and then, I mean,
there's no good faith negotiating. So it doesn't matter how good of a negotiator you are if the other side is not actually at the table.
Right. And I believe that if Donald Trump was dealing with people that were being earnest, then he could outmaneuver them till the cows come home. But he's dealing with people who are insanely patient, that don't care if we kill their people, that don't really care how much their people suffer, and believe that they can wait us out.
Religious zealot authoritarians is really what they are.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, come on. Like from the jump, we were not going to have a good negotiation here. And the whole point is we have to decide issue to issue where we want to be as conservatives, because Trump's going to be gone and there's not going to be no reference candidate. I promise you, it's not J.D. Vance. I like Marco Rubio. It's not going to be him. There is nobody that has that sort of consolidation power that Trump has. So we're going to have to figure out kind of where we are on the issues. We might start now.
I could be wrong, but it sure seemed as though you were cheerleading this war when you got huffy with Benson on the handoff at the beginning of it. No, I've never cheerleaded this war. What I have said is I'm willing to wait and see. I support my country. I support my president. And if the purpose is to get in, do the deed, and get out, fine. But I did not see, and I've maintained this from the beginning, I did not see how we could declare that we were not going to have boots on the ground and achieve the success that we claimed that we wanted. That is where I've been. But at the beginning, I patiently hoped and prayed, literally prayed, that we could accomplish the goals that we wanted to accomplish and move on swiftly like we were told. So,
and the great thing with my stuff, guys, is the receipts are there publicly.
Yeah,
like it's in writing.
Too.
You can go see it. You can hear it from Matt, and we've been pretty consistent.
Mike is in Old Hickory. What is up, Mike? How are you, buddy?
Pretty good, man. How about you?
I'm well, Mike. Thank you for calling in.
I'm listening to you, and just want to pass along. Trump just won all of the primaries, every single one. But I'm against Trump on him not pulling the trigger, the final trigger on Iran. He's lost it. He should have pulled the trigger weeks ago. And now he's put himself in a box. And until he comes out of that box and pulls the trigger and makes a massive, massive statement, he's going to lose the midterms. Like you said you were pumping $4 a gallon gas. I was pumping $4.20. But what I was thinking was, you know what? Who would I vote for? Trump, or go back to Obama and a Biden and Clinton and those people and Mondani and Newsom? I actually stood there pulling that pump and it overflowed.
Who do you think, who are you going to be for when 2028 rolls around, you think? You going to wait and see?
I'm going to wait and see. And it better be Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance. They're great people.
Yeah.
But I'm going to wait.
Okay.
Any dark horse candidate, Mike? Anybody that we're not seeing?
And I'm going to get even more hardcore. That if Donald Trump doesn't pull the trigger, then he's in trouble. And that's why I'm against him now for just he's being played like a fiddle by the Iranians and the media. I want this over. And you know what? That's how you do things. Get it over. That's what Trump says.
Okay.
I do deals.
I want it over. I want it over too in a successful way. I don't know, and I'm not trying to be obtuse intentionally on this, Mike. I don't know how you make a deal that's going to be a long-term success for the United States.
You cannot make a deal with Iranians, mullahs.
Okay.
people that are evil.
Right.
You cannot make deals.
Right.
Trump needs to understand that. I still don't think he's there yet. He needs to understand you don't deal with evil people. You got to destroy them.
Mike, thank you for the call. I don't know that we're in it for that length of time that it would take to destroy them, but I do appreciate the sentiment. It's 52 after the hour. We'll wrap things up in a moment. Cameron Smith is with us. This is Matt Murphy and the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk. Friends, Matt Murphy for United Structural Systems. When it comes to large home repairs, a lot of times homeowners want to pretend like they don't see the warning signs because we're simply afraid of what we're going to hear. Your local source of action in this regard is United Structural Systems. United Structural Systems are your local foundation of waterproofing experts. They live here, they work here, they understand how Tennessee soil works. They understand how the weather is going to impact your home and how your home behaves. They've been trusted in Tennessee since 1994. That's a long time. 30,000 plus satisfied customers, just like you. So if you're concerned about your home, your foundation, I got a USS team out to my house in Mount Pleasant, and they gave me the thumbs up, the seal of approval, which is kind of nice. We've decided we're going to do some long-term work on gutters, which I'm very excited about. We get those gutters underground and get that water away from the home, which is a top-notch piece of advice that they gave me. Get some advice from the structural experts, the foundation experts at USS. USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com. Call United Structural Systems today.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
One of the things that happened over the last 24 hours in these primary elections that really hasn't been spoken about quite enough, in my opinion, the Georgia Supreme Court is going to remain conservative as they pushed back on some Democrat candidates that were running. And I think that run, it's an impartial or rather a nonpartisan race, but we know who the players are. Barack Obama was encouraging people to go vote Democrat or whatever. But the NAACP is saying that black athletes should stay out of southern schools in southern states. What say you, Cameron Smith?
Roll Tide. I mean, okay. I mean, did we really need to give the Big Ten another advantage?
Well, here's the thing, though. I looked this up. Do you know the enrollment numbers at the University of Alabama in terms of African American? It's like 11%.
Okay.
You know what it is at the University of Oregon?
8%?
It's like less than 2.
Okay.
So what are we talking about again? Because I see the University of Alabama offering wonderful opportunities for all of their students, black, white, and especially their student athletes with NIL money and that sort of thing.
Hey, incidentally, did you know the history of integration in Alabama and the fact that that university was where a lot of the history happened?
Yeah. So that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, I get it. You don't like the political maps. You know, you want to do what you can to change them.
Okay. Good luck. Good luck with that. Cameron, thank you. Read Cameron on the Tennessean website. Support the conservative over there in the room full of whatever there is.
Let's go. Read about muskets.
Oh, yeah. That's a good article, by the way, that you just posted. It's a column that Cameron's got on the Tennessean's website. We'll be back tomorrow for a Thursday edition. Until then, for Jackson Williams, for Ken Weaver, for Cameron Smith, Matt Murphy speaking and saying, have a wonderful evening. Hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.